Am I? Hold on.
Oh, from my camera, at least from my
Yeah.
Am I? Hold on.
You know why? He faking some technical difficulties, so we
Hold
don't
on.
have to talk about a certain someone today.
Who is that, Mars?
People gonna ask about him. I'm not gonna speak negatively on him, but people gonna ask. I understand.
Mars, are you insinuating the Jaylen Brown, Derek White carry drive?
I'm saying some people are gonna want to hear Chill's opinion on someone who played last night for the Boston Celtics. That's what I'm insinuating. So yeah, I think Chill's faking some technical difficulties right now. But...
That would be rather unfortunate, Chill. But while we're waiting for Chill to phone back in,
how about that, Ox?
A little bit of the same, but
is it? Because I look pretty clean over here on my end.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you look fine. Ox is just trying to save you right now. It's cool. It's cool.
Either way, we need you, Chill. So
yeah, we here.
Chill. Before we get into it, I see these playoffs. We've all been put to the burner, and we all have to face the judge at some point. So Chill,
yes,
it
sir.
seems like you will be called up, and we'll need your testimony.
Looks like I'm next to come to the front of the congregation. Is that what I gotta do? I gotta come to the front of the congregation, and I gotta explain myself. All right, I don't have no issue with that.
You know how that goes sometimes.
I do. I 100% know how that goes. So let's get to it. This is the great part about having a good team, and having other guys. This is the great part about having a good team and having other guys do their thing, because when you don't have it going, it makes everybody else make you look like you're not as bad. So the good part about the Celtics and the good part about Jason Tatum is, as bad as he's been shooting, he has been doing other things, but the fact that those guys have been so much better offensively, that kind of alleviates it. Like if they were losing, it would be way worse. Kind of like what's going on with Luka right now. Because as bad as Luka is shooting, it's kind of compounding. Losing kind of compounds that. So the fact that Jason Tatum is shooting the basketball, I think he's shooting under 40%. I think he's shooting under 40% from the floor, and I think he's shooting barely 30 on the long ball, and the Celtics are winning, so it doesn't look as bad. I would like to see him be more aggressive early, but it doesn't seem like he has to do that. So it is a good thing. The thing I'm worried about is that when we get later on in the rounds, he's going to have to turn it on. He's not going to be able to just sit back and just let the game come to him, because Derek White's not going to do what you saw last night. He ain't doing that every night. Jaylen Brown has that kind of game where he could get going, but then he could also disappear. I've seen that from him plenty of times, where he'll give you 26 and a half and he won't score for the rest of the game. He's done that. So Jason Tatum definitely has to stay engaged. I think he had 9 points early on in the game, and then he didn't really do much after that. In terms of scoring, he didn't really do much after that. But again, this is the plus side of having good teammates. This is the plus side of having a really good crew. And this when you're not shooting the ball that well, it really doesn't matter that much.
So who has been the Celtics' best player this playoff so far? Like, look. Let's say you would never seen the Celtics play before. You never seen none of the players play before. You just woke up from a coma, and this is the first time you started watching Game 1 of Round 1.
I don't know any of these dudes. I've never seen any of these dudes play. If I'm watching them, I'm thinking Jaylen Brown is their best player, and I'm thinking Derek White is their second best player. That's what I'm thinking.
But you put Jason Tatum on the top 15 list. Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Chill, that's what this is all about, right?
Absolutely, 100%. That's
no, because like I've turned a new leaf in terms of I'm not trying to be as negative. But that list just didn't make sense to me. I'm sorry.
I understand, Mars. I do. And again, the way I explained it yesterday is there's a difference between playing better than somebody and being a better player. Those two things are not the same thing. But I know the masses. And if somebody's playing better, especially when it comes to him, I can't say that about everybody else. If somebody's playing better than Luka, like that's what's going on right now. There's guys that's playing better than Luka.
But hold on, no, chill. Hold on, chill. Because look, this is yesterday, right? This is just yesterday, y'all. So it wasn't after last night's games, but yesterday around maybe one or two. What's the show? What's the show? First, I don't know what the show it is, but the one with Nick Wright and Chris Broussard.
Okay.
If you guys were,
a real show like from the logo.
So if you guys were, I don't know, but if you guys were watching that, according to Chris Broussard in his pyramid of players, triangle of players, I don't know if y'all can see this. Let me see if I can do it right, or I'll just have to.
Hold on, they over there running triangles.
No, he's got a pyramid of players.
Yes, there you go. Wait, let me.
He's got Anthony. He's got
that's Brunson, Luka, Jokic, Shea, Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Cat, and then a bunch of
So I had issue with Luka. I had issue with that.
What's going on, y'all?
What up, Will?
What's up, Chill Will?
Which part did you have issue with? And at the top,
I had issue with Luka being in the second next to Jaylen Brunson. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, so you weren't because I took part in that list too. So Mars, we're not the only ones that have lists that we favor certain people to, because it's not a snowball's chance in hell. You got Luka in that second tier next to Jaylen Brunson in a triangle in this pyramid of playoff performers. There's no way that Luka Dončić is next to Jaylen Brunson. You got him above Jokic, SGA, and Kyrie, who are in the third tier. He put Donovan Mitchell in the fourth tier. This is before last. Was that
Nick Wright or Chris Broussard?
Nick Wright. This is Nick Wright.
Yeah, Nick Wright's like a known Luka.
Yeah. So, but to do that and put Donovan Mitchell in the fourth tier, Kyrie in the third, and Luka in the second next to Jaylen Brunson. This is
the same Luka who in these playoffs, Mars, I want to make sure we clear. He's had a 1 for 10 game, a 1 for 9 game, a 1 for 8 game,
he can't buy a 3.
And a 3 for 14 game on the long ball. That's just on the long ball. I'm not even talking about what he's doing from the floor, right?
Let's start talking about playoff dropping and getting carried. Let's talk about that.
And the idea that watching Luka yesterday, and Ron, I want to stay on Jason Tatum because I don't want to get off Jason Tatum. I definitely.
Well, I mean, chill. They two peas in the pod right now.
Right.
They going hand in hand.
Yeah, I definitely want to stay on him because
one is the media's darling. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting pushed to be some superstar that he's not. Getting compared to Magic.
You think Luka's a media darling?
I've heard.
They're both media darlings.
I'm talking about articles, dumb comments. People talking about he's a mixture of Kobe and Magic, the LeBron James stuff. I'm tired of this dumb shit. Like, what are y'all watching this dude play basketball?
Yes.
Ron, no, Ron. He can't guard Mars. No disrespect.
I get that. I'm saying they both media darlings, though.
Not many can, but I get your point. Not many can.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all be forgetting Mars was a McDonald's All-American way back when.
No, Mars
definitely in McDonald's. Definitely been McDonald's. That's true.
Mars is an athlete. Look, he can't guard either one of my sons, bro. I'm watching this dude. It looks like he's not trying, bro. It looks like he's not trying. It's that bad that I have to assume he doesn't want to play defense. He's not willing. He's not trying, bro. He's not trying.
Wait, so then like what's the conversation? My fault for jumping in a little late, guys.
Mark, would you like to give context?
We was talking about Jason Tatum because Chill is the known Jason Tatum fanatic on the show. Jason Tatum hasn't played to the level Chill thinks he is as a player. And so he just started talking about him, and then Ox used that to springboard over to why Luka Dončić is being overrated by the mainstream media and his little minions who praise him, and he's not performing to the level of Jaylen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, etc. But he's being put on their level in the postseason. But
Donovan being in the fourth tier and Luka being in
Donovan. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell. He's like playing really well. I want to say, because I am for some reason considered a Jason Tatum here. He's really good at doing, like, when he's not scoring, he does a lot of other things like really well, which is like, I think when you're a superstar and you're not scoring, it's going to be looked at as a bad game. I don't think he played terribly. I don't think he scored well at all. Also, Max Strus guarding him. Didn't expect that. Isaac Okoro took Jaylen Brown. Max Strus was on Jason Tatum. Didn't expect that. But like defensively, they're using him without Porzingis basically as a center. Like, I think that's very interesting. I think that's very intriguing.
He plays in the middle of the zone. He does.
They're using him basically as the 5, and I think he's doing a very good job. Like in terms of that, like I've seen him. He was switching. He was hedging. He was showing. He played drop. Like he's doing a bunch of things that like it's not going to get recognition because he didn't score 30. But like all of those things he's doing, it's like that's very impactful. Like in the first like 15 minutes of the game, he'd guarded Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro, all as the primary defender. Not like he just switched onto them. He was guarding them from the offset of the possession till the end of the possession. He was the primary on all of those 4 guys in the first 15 minutes.
Right.
Like that's very like I'm not gonna say he had a great game because he didn't, but like those things
scoring the basketball.
Yeah, like it's very interesting that he's doing those things. And there was a play where Karis LeVert actually just sent him to Jupiter, but he got to the rim. I was like, oof, that's tough. But like generally speaking, I think he played very, very good defense. I think his help was good. His defense around the nail has been excellent all year. He's doing a lot of interesting things, and I think his playmate when he's looking to pass, like not like I'm gonna pass even if they don't double me, but like when he's not tunnel visioned on scoring, he makes very good decisions too.
Having to make reads.
Like there was a time he got doubled in the post, they swung it out, they ended up getting a wide open corner 3 for Peyton Pritchard. I think he missed it, but like those things there, I want to give him some credit for doing those things well. Right. Now, does he need to score better? Yes. He was posting up a lot last night. They were hunting the Darius Garland mismatch. Some plays they didn't give it up and ended up just turning into wide open layups and threes for Derek White and Drew Holiday. So you got to give him some credit for that because they are refusing to try and get Darius Garland on him. That counts as something Jason Tatum is contributing to. But when he did get the switch, he was very aggressive, posting up, trying to get to the rim, those things. A couple fadeaways that probably shouldn't have taken. But the biggest issue I have is the transition threes. That's what I'm like, I don't like that you're doing that. But I think that was a point of emphasis for the Celtics. I think that was just something they were trying to do. They were just trying to score early and often. Jaylen Brown in semi-transition or full transition is unstoppable. I've been known as a Jaylen Brown hater too. I want to give him his flowers. He's in transition, semi-transition, or when the defense is just not set, he's unstoppable. Like he's able to get to where he wants on the floor. If he, and I know like I've spoke about his handle. I think his handle's actually gotten better this year. But if he doesn't have to take more than 4 dribbles, you aren't stopping him. If he can just go quick against either a scrambled defense or the defense that isn't set, he's gonna get wherever he wants, like anytime he wants. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for that.
This might be my happiest day on PC.
Well, that's
and his defense has been very good.
Mars, what it sounds like you're explaining is Mars, is you're dumbing it down. Okay, this is what we need you to do, Jaylen. Instead of the extracurricular nonsense, just a straight line. 2-3 dribbles, pull up. 2-3 dribbles, get to the basket. When he starts pounding the basketball 5, 6, 7, 8 times, then you start making mistakes, right? And to your point, when I'm watching Jason Tatum get doubled in the short corner and fire it with the weak hand to the left corner for Derek White, wide open for a 3, stuff like that. Now I can do without the one-legged mid-post jump shots. I can do without that. I'm going to pass on that. But the other stuff where he's getting on the backboard, whether it's uncontested or it's contested,
or uncontested, but
whether it's contested or uncontested, that kind of stuff matters. And the fact that they don't have that other big guy in there, that's really helping Boston out because they don't have to contend with that. They don't have to contend with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. That's a big deal. But it's kind of a double-edged sword, though. But it's a double-edged sword. You know why? Because Mars, if he goes for 38 or if he goes for 45 and they lose, he can't carry. That's not enough. He can't.
He's in a lose-lose situation.
But if he's getting 19, 20, and they're smoking everybody, well, you know what? He's on a bomb squad. So I'm prepared for it.
See, Mars, you said he's in a lose-lose. I think it's the complete opposite. This is a win-win situation for Jason Tatum.
For his perception or for
that? Well, yeah, because the perception doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree with that. I'm just saying it's a lose-lose.
Like Jaylen, if you have to play out of your position and do other things because you have Jaylen Brown and a Derek White who can do pretty much anything as well, I don't care about any of that. Like, well, you're supposed to win basketball games. You win the basketball games. You don't care about dummies talking about, oh, well, you had the better team. Well, that's their problem. They should get better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my fault that my second best player could be our best player any day. Like, y'all need to get better. Evan Mobley, get better. You know what I'm saying? Jared Allen, get healthy. That's not up to us. Like, and on top of that it's not like KP's playing, so they're not whole either.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like last night's game, that definitely shows why a lot of people thought that Tatum is not the MVP, because even without him effectively scoring, carrying in that way, it's like the team, they still were able to dominate. So I think if you don't like Tatum, I think like you'll use it, but I definitely do agree with what Mars was saying in terms of what he's doing isn't really reflecting on the stat sheet. So it's like people aren't really going to give him credit for a lot of those things, but I still think that Tatum had a good game though, just regardless of him going over like something from 3 and then him not really scoring that effectively. I think overall still a good game. He just didn't have to carry the scoring load, but they gonna hold it against him. It's not his fault.
Which he's done in the past before, and they've actually won when he's done that. So the fact that
no one else can miss a 3. I mean, you don't even need to score, to be honest.
Right.
So the Cavs backcourt is too small. It's not a knock on them on how good they are, but they're too small. Boston are actively hunting Darius Garland every time he's on the court. He's trying, he's giving effort. I'm not there's some people who are bad defenders because they don't try, and there's some people who are bad defenders because they're limited. Darius Garland is just limited. He's too small. They are hunting him. They're hunting him with Jason Tatum. The amount of times I saw them run an empty side pick and roll with Darius Garland and Max Strus, hoping that Darius Garland will switch, and then he refuses to switch, and then you end up leaving someone for a layup because he's now behind trying to recover on Derek White. Or they do switch, and now all of a sudden you have to send a double team, and now your defense is rotating. They're too small. Donovan Mitchell as well. He gives effort. He's too small. That's the problem. You got 2 guards,
but with a bigger,
against wings. They're just going to get destroyed.
But with a bigger guard, one bigger guard, Mars. How does that alleviate? How can we protect Darius Garland? Because I've seen small guards who can defend. Kyrie Irving actually gives effort defending. He's not.
Yeah, but he's bigger. Not just height wise, he's stronger. Darius Garland is. I don't know his weight, but he's not built like that. He's built.
Is he not bigger than Mitchell?
Kyrie. But even Donovan Mitchell is stronger.
Right.
They can match physicality. Darius Garland is not strong enough. He's too small and he's not strong enough. He's being hunted and he's trying. He's trying to execute the game plan. He's not trying to give up the switch. He's trying to recover. But even when he recovers, he's too small to affect. He's too small to affect shots. So if he's late on the closeout, it's a wide open look. That's the problem. And I'm not knocking Darius Garland as the player. He's just physically limited against teams with this much size and against most teams in the league with length. He's just limited.
So Mars, would you say that Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are liabilities?
I would say Darius Garland is a liability. I think Donovan Mitchell's strength and speed and ability to play off-ball defense isn't a liability, but it does hurt them at times. But the way they are hunting Darius Garland, he's becoming a liability on defense, no matter how hard he's trying, which is why I say defense is more than effort. But that's why a small backcourt just tends to not work anyway. But when both of them are small, in a league like this, with how much of a premium on wings and size there is now, it's going to be hard to overcome that, especially Max Strus is 6'4", but he's strong. So I'll give him credit. Donovan Mitchell 6'2", but he's strong, but he's still not going to match up with wings very well. And Darius Garland he can't guard anyone on Boston.
So are they more so a liability together since they're together?
Yeah, them in tandem makes it a lot harder to deal with. If you had Darius Garland on Orlando, next to a Jalen Suggs and then a Franz Wagner and then a Paolo and then a Wendell and a Jonathan Isaac, he wouldn't they would hunt him, but because of the size elsewhere, you could help him in a better way than Cleveland. You see how with the Wolves, if they double, they can still cover everywhere on the court because they've got so much length and size and activity. Cleveland can't do that because the only size they have is Evan Mobley. Everyone else is small. So even if you double, there's so much space on the court because of your lack of size that you can't cover up for Darius Garland's shortcomings, which is why I think Cleveland just isn't a great fit for those two in the backcourt. I don't know what decision they have to make. Maybe they think it can work, but me personally, I don't like it.
Nah, I mean, it's all right though, Mars. Donovan Mitchell is out of here in the summer.
I think.
And where's he going, Will?
I don't know. Hey, look, the Knicks, they want him, right? Then you have another small backcourt.
He's gonna have another small backcourt.
Right, exactly.
Well, I mean, but that's where he's been rumored to go the most. I'm not an NBA insider. I can only talk about what I'm seeing. But I think that he's out of there after this series.
What about Miami?
Well, he's added. He's going to be added. If he's going to be added this summer, even though they're actually making progress. If you look at what the Cleveland Cavaliers have done over the last couple of years, they were playing team 2 years ago. Last season, they were a top 5 seed. They end up making the playoffs. They lose in the first round. This year, they're again a top 5 seed, and they are now in the semifinals. So they're on a trajectory of next season to be in the East Finals if they keep going this way. Now, they may have to do some things where they upgrade the roster a little bit. I'm on record saying that if Donovan Mitchell does not sign that extension this summer, I'm trading him. I'm absolutely trading him. I'm getting off of him and maybe get something bigger in the backcourt, right? Maybe get a bigger guard, get a bigger wing. If guys like Jared Allen could stay healthy, I think we have a different series. I still think Boston beats them off the strength that offensively, as good as Cleveland is defensively, they can't match them offensively. And even with Jared Allen on the floor, I don't think that that's going to help offensively because Boston has so much and they have so many different weapons that they could go to, whether it's in the pick and dive, whether it's in transition, whether it's in stop and pop. And they, and to Mars's point, how they hunt mismatches. Well, I think that they could do a better job with Jared on the floor, with Jared Allen on the floor, with Evan Mobley on the floor, with Karis LeVert on the floor. Even if they had D Wade, another long ball shooter, I do feel like they could do a better job with more size in protecting Darius Garland and protecting Donovan Mitchell, who is better defensively and will give more effort. But the fact that they don't have that size right now, they're completely overmatched.
Chill, the
I think
Celtics just got big, strong wings, though. Like, and guards, too. Drew Holiday is one of the most physically imposing point guards in the NBA on both ends.
And he's not small.
Drew Holiday will post your ass up. And on top of that, he's going to bully you on defense.
Yes.
Derek White, same thing, whether he's playing the 1, 2, or the 3.
Yes.
He's big and strong. Jaylen Brown, one of the bigger, stronger guards in the league. JT, even at the 4, he can hold his own most of the time. But if you put him at the 3, he's more than likely more imposing than you. If you put him at the 2 or if a 1 gets switched on him, it's like nothing you can really do because JT, he's athletic and he has a strong handle. So it's like you're hard pressed to stay in front of him. And then if he puts his body on you or get you on the block or in the mid post, you're just outmatched. So this is it's tough for the Cavs because even Mars mentioned Max Strus, and yes, Max Strus is strong, but he's still the same height as Drew Holiday, who is their point guard, which means he's shorter than everybody else on the floor. And all of those guys are stronger, if not as strong, or can just fend him off. So it's like the Cavs are outmatched all around.
Cleveland,
really, like without Jared Allen, it's kind of a tough go for them.
I feel like Cleveland
but
also. Go ahead, Will. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, so like you kind of brought up like what they did like last few seasons, saying so basically based on projection, the next season they should be going further, like the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think that's only if everything goes perfectly, and like they may
Why does it
need
have to
some
go
luck.
perfect, Will? Why does it have to go perfect? Even though that matters. Even though that I actually had a conversation last night.
The East will probably be healthy next year.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway, when you say what, that's with just about anybody. For example, how about with the, and I don't want to cut you off, but like Minnesota. Does it help that Reggie Jackson is now hurt? Does it help that the guys that are dealing with the clip? Does it help that KCP isn't in the best of health? Does it help that Jamal Murray isn't in the best of health? 100% that helps. That has nothing to do with my actual game. So being the NBA champion, things that you just being good isn't good enough. You need some things to go your way. 100% you do.
Sure.
No,
that's why progress isn't determined, in my opinion, it shouldn't be determined by how far you go in the playoffs. If you like, for example, the Pacers made the second round this year because they played a Bucks team where Dame was compromised and Giannis was hurt, and they beat them. You give them credit for winning that series.
Right.
But if next year they play a team in the first round who are
like
fully
Milwaukee,
healthy, they play the Bucks or they play the Sixers or they play Boston in round 1, and they lose to them, that doesn't mean they got worse or their season was more of a failure. They just because you played against a better team in round 1 this year. That doesn't
but then how do you?
That doesn't make you worse.
Would it just be bad? Once again, Mars goes back to 1, matchups, 2, things going your way. So a team like Milwaukee, who, with all intents and purposes, if they end up playing Milwaukee with Giannis, with him being healthy, I think they beat Indiana. So the next year, if they play them, you ran into a bad matchup. That's just bad luck. As opposed to if you were able to avoid them and somebody else dealt with them, you were fortunate.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like, how do you give credit to the Pacers for beating the Bucks this year? Because of the injuries that they had.
Because winning a playoff
that to
series,
me kind of did.
You get credit for winning the playoff series.
Just because Giannis was hurt doesn't mean that
they still had to win 4 games.
Yes,
they won 4 games. They're in the second round. They deserve it. We can also say that in the same breath acknowledge that the Bucks weren't whole, but you still have to beat them. The Bucks could have played me out there. You still have to win those games.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think it puts like an asterisk on it though. Like it's not the same as if the Bucks were healthy. That's why, like Cho just said, that if Giannis and Dame was there like the entire series, that he thinks that they would have beat the Pacers. So I mean, yeah, it's like you got to give them some credit because they actually got it done. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you should just be praising them like that because I think they were supposed to win with those 2 being out.
I mean, if you do what you're supposed to do, that means you shouldn't get praised.
Right. Well, I mean, they were supposed to beat them, but just like the Miami Heat in 2011 was supposed to beat the Mavericks, they didn't.
I mean, that's a different situation, though.
What's the difference? Your idea is that you're supposed to beat these guys, whether they're hurt, whether we're overmatched in terms of talent. Doesn't make a difference why we're supposed to beat this team. We still have to do it. And if we don't do it, what difference does it make?
Yeah, but you still praise the team that
Right.
overcomes more adversity than the team that just gets it done when they're supposed to. So, for instance, the Mavs are forever going to be praised and acknowledged for beating that Heat team.
Correct.
Because they weren't supposed to beat that Heat team. Because everybody is saying, oh, Dirk went on a carry job. It was Dirk and a bunch of other role players. Yes, they were good, but they were old.
So the Mavs don't get praised, Dirk gets praised.
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. But Mars, the point I'm making, though, is if LeBron would have won that ring, it was like, okay, you guys were supposed to win that ring. You guys had a – we talk about that more because LeBron won it than if he would have won it. If he would, or because he lost it, than if he would have won it. The fact that he lost it, that's the only reason we talk about that more than if he would have actually won it. No, but I promise you, nobody will be talking about, oh, well, you remember that ring where they beat the Mavs and this and this? It would have just been like, okay, they got their first championship. They were supposed to win that.
So we can say the same thing, Ron. So we can say the same thing about Milwaukee. So Dame misses a game. Giannis misses the entire series. If Indiana loses to them, that's exactly the logic.
Well, no, wait, but it's not. See, the reason that I'm saying that it's hard for me to give the Pacers that much credit is because of those two injuries. So you didn't play them when they were missing their two best players, basically. So that's why I think that there's like an asterisk on it. Yes, you have to get it done, but it's just not as impressive as if Giannis would have been out there.
But that's if they don't win, but what I'm saying, Will, is that if they don't,
if they don't win, then that was just expectations, anyways.
That Milwaukee was going to beat them. Which means that Milwaukee is actually better than what they think because we could beat you without our two best players.
No, I'm saying if they would have beaten the Pacers with their two best players out there, I'm saying that's
no. This is what I'm talking about. Will. So you don't have your two best players on the floor. And Indiana still is supposed to beat them because you don't have your two best players.
Yes, so that now changes it.
So if they lose to Milwaukee without your two best players, what does that say about Indiana? You can't tell me that
disappointment.
You can't just say with your two best players out, well, we still were supposed to beat them. Well, what? Well, wait a minute. Is Milwaukee really that good, or did we overrate Indiana?
Well, no, see, but it's different though, because then expectations now change with new evidence. So going into the series, right? I think if everybody's healthy, you would expect Milwaukee to win. Okay, now you find out, okay, so Giannis is not going to be playing. It's going to be Dame, but then he gets injured as well. So now the expectations are for the Pacers to go on and win that series. So it changes, like, it's not just like the expectations just set in stone. It gets different when you are presented like new evidence or who's going to be out, who's playing and whatnot. But to me, I can't give the Pacers that much credit, because they didn't beat a healthy Milwaukee team. I think when you brought up the Mavericks,
if they won, it's not that deep because their team's hurt. It's just a lose-lose. Same thing.
I don't think they would have got slandered because I don't really think people care about the Pacers like that. So I don't really think that they would have got slandered.
You haven't heard the Tyrese Halliburton conversations. You haven't heard them.
Will, though, nobody's talked about the fact that the Pacers, a 6 seed, has beat Milwaukee, a 3 seed. Reason being is because Giannis was out and Dame only played a couple games. If those two were there, we'd be talking about, first off, we'd be talking about, you'd be hearing it from from everybody. Oh, the Bucks got smoked, the Bucks choked, the Bucks got spanked, and then we would be bigging up the Pacers like, okay, this team actually is better than everybody thought they were. The role players did this, Halliburton did this, Pascal Siakam's this. But the fact that they beat a wounded Bucks team, nobody's even spoke on that being an upset because nobody really deems it as an upset because of the circumstances.
And that's
now when we pack up the Knicks, that's going to be a different story. It's going to be a different story.
I need Tyrese Halliburton to do something for me this series, bro. I need to get the Knicks out of here.
Do they play tonight?
Got to get them out of here.
Yeah, they play tonight.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that game, y'all. We'll also get into the Thunder game. We'll talk about Rudy being a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. But as of right now, I got to shout out to everybody that's in here. And also congratulate all of my good panelists up here. I gotta shout out everybody from top to bottom that's been rocking with the panel since episode 1. From Chill to Mars, Big Ox. I gotta show Low some love. I gotta show Ticket some love. I gotta show Damo some love. I gotta show Dub love. I gotta show Dale love. I gotta show Euro and Hezzy some love. I gotta show JD love. I gotta show everybody. If I forgot somebody, my apologies.
Fluent.
But, shout out to Fluent, man. Hey, shout out to Fluent for real. Hey, Fluent really held it down, and Fluent's really one of the dopest people to ever touch this panel. But reason why I'm doing this is because it's episode 300, y'all. Pat on the back to you guys, the chat, for carrying us through this. You know, you guys have been to Jordan and we've been to Pippen. I know Ox doesn't really like that.
Easy, Ron. Easy.
Ox just thinks you're calling us the better of the two.
That's a compliment. I mean,
he's appreciating that.
Easy, Ron.
Chill. What would you say the analogy is for us in the chat? Chill. Be careful. Tread lightly. This is episode 300, so the chats they ready to party. They ready to riot.
Okay, the crowd is necessary. I won't argue that, but you fill up the arena for the entertainment. You don't just, if you fill up the arena, there's no entertainment. What y'all doing here? So, I mean, if we're being honest about this, yes, the chat is necessary. I won't argue that, but we are not the third or the fourth option. No.
You know Jason Tatum? Okay.
No.
No, sorry, that was just right there. I have to take the opportunity. That was right there.
But what I do want to do is I want to talk about some of the best moments over these 300 episodes.
You want to talk about the James Harden story too?
Please do.
That's what everyone's here for, to be honest. The James Harden story.
Well, you see, guys, I figured you were going to ask about it. The good old James Harden story. So I came prepared. But when I woke up and I printed off the script for today's episode, it just wasn't on there. You see, the people up above, they don't want me to give the James Harden story. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm thinking episode 400, maybe 500. Who knows? But I actually got a better story for you guys.
We're never going to get it. We're never.
I got a better story for you guys. You know, me being a Seattle guy, I'm around a lot of, talent and whatnot and things like that. A couple of you guys may have heard this. A lot of you guys probably haven't. But we're going to flash back to like 2012. Me and my good friend Shaq, you guys probably know Shaq. He plays for Olympiacos. They're actually better than that sweatshirt that you're wearing, Will.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, Barca clears too, but he plays for Olympiacos. They actually play today for a chance to go to the Final Four in the Euro League. So if you guys are tapping in, tap in there. If you don't know, they play at 3 Eastern time. Make sure to tap in. But Shaq, who is the founder of Players Choice, me and him, we go back, way back. And so we're at an LA Fitness, and we're just, we're working out. We're getting up some shots and whatnot. On the other end of the floor, some skinny guy working out with his dad. And a bunch of other guys come in. And you guys know how it is at an LA Fitness, where if you working out and a bunch of dudes come in, and they trying to play, it's like it's a public court. So it's like y'all either got to play or y'all got to move. And so we all like, all right, let's rock. The captains get set and they start picking the teams. No, Shaq's one of the captains and another guy's the captain. And these dudes are all buddies and they don't really know who we are yet at this point. Unfortunate for them. Because Shaq picks me with the first pick. Cool. They pick one of their friends. With the third pick, Shaq picks a kid who at this point is about 6'5". Light-skinned, tall, and skinny. He's ranked in the nation as a basketball player, but nobody really knows at this time who Zach LaVine is. But it's Zach LaVine. And if you guys don't know, like, Shaq is one of the more athletic players that you'll ever see. Go look up his highlights. It's very Derrick Rose, Westbrook-ish. Shaq got a clip in Korea where he literally jumped over a guy. So he's crazy as a 6'4" athlete, one of the more freakish athletes you'll ever see. Obviously, you guys know who Zach LaVine is. And you might not know me as well, but I'm a bit athletic too. Long story short, the ball gets checked up. First play of the game, we get a steal. It's Shaq. Boom. They like, okay, damn. Next play of the game. Hey, somebody tries to make a skip pass. Lo and behold, Zach LaVine grabs it. And you just got to know what he goes on the other end and does.
A layup. Yeah, a layup.
This is a 16-year-old kid we talking about. 15.
Yeah, he just gonna finish it with fundamentals, just regular right hand there. Yeah.
Third play of the game. I get a block off the backboard. Throw it down the floor. Shaq, another dunk. Long story short, we beat them like 15-1. 12 of our points were dunks.
Guarantee it was your man who scored, right?
Well, see, the thing about it is I was leaking out, Mars. I was trying to catch up. I was trying to get my dunk too. And you know how that
you play
sometimes.
defense like Luka.
Basically, sometimes that's how it happens. That's how it happens.
It sounds like
But
you guys like skill in mind. That's what I'm hearing. You guys just run and dunk, man. That's what I'm hearing.
you know how it be sometimes.
I'm not moved. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not moved.
Hey, Mars, see, the thing about it is when you could dunk, you don't really worry about shooting threes. When you're dominant, you know you.
So you cherry picking?
Anyone could dunk if they were 6'12" too. I'm sorry.
You were cherry picking?
I mean, Will, when you up 13-0, you know, like
no, you meant to keep the same intensity throughout. That's what the Timberwolves do, and that's why they about to sweep the Nuggets because they keep that intensity. You think because they up 20, they're just gonna be like, "No, we chilling." Nah, you got
Mars. I know six. I know some
neck.
I know some 6'4" dudes that can't dunk, Mars. 6'5" dudes that can't dunk for real.
Nah, I didn't know where you 6'5" and you can't dunk.
They dunked at one point in their life. They might have lost it, but
yeah, fact.
There's a lot of uncoordinated, unathletic dudes out here. 6'5", 6'6" can't dunk.
Mars, so how tall would you think you would need to be to dunk?
I mean, considering now at my height, I can rim graze on an 8-foot rim. So you make me Wemby's height. I might be able to get you one. I might be able to.
I can't dunk either, Mars. Don't worry about it, bro.
I don't need to dunk, man. Fundamentals. You guys.
What you think, Mars? If you was like 6'3"?
In my current condition, I don't think I'd have to be very tall to dunk. But if I believe if I was tall, I'd probably be more inclined to play basketball more often. So I'd probably be able to dunk in that regard. But if you just had me as currently constructed and made me 6'4", nah, I promise you I'm not dunking. Not even close. But if I was just naturally taller, I'd probably be able to, just based on the fact that I'd play basketball. But anyway, can we go back to Jason Tatum?
Yeah, y'all talk to me. You said, can we get to Jason Tatum?
Yeah, because I'm one thing, because I feel like I praised him. There's no way you're moved by his rebounding. Like, I'm sorry, like there's no way. Like I'm watching him play. I've watched every Boston Celtics game. This man just gets rebounds with no one around. Like, I'm sorry.
That's not true, Mars. That's not true.
I watched every rebound he got.
He rebounded traffic last night.
I watched every.
He got a rebound over. He got a rebound over.
I'm gonna tell you because I remember every rebound
he almost fell out of bounds with the rebound.
I know that's the one rebound I gave him credit for. He saw it from the 3-point line, came in and got it with one hand. I was like, yeah, that's a nice rebound.
Right.
This is what happened. His first offensive rebound, his shot got blocked right back into his hands.
Right.
He got given an offensive rebound because someone blocked the shot and it fell right back into his hands.
Right.
Okay, cool. I guess we're giving credit for that offensive rebound.
Right.
His other offensive rebounds, he tries to bully Max Strus in the post, fails, tries to finish over the top, misses, it comes back to him. I'll give him credit for that one because you still have to grab that rebound. He missed the tip, and that's fine. There was one defensive rebound he got that I think was a defensive rebound that you got to give credit for. It was when he was on the 3-point line. Someone missed a shot. I can't remember who it was. Evan Mobley was there ready to get an offensive rebound. Right. Jason Tatum came flying in and grabbed it before Evan Mobley could get it. I give him credit for that. Every other rebound, there's no one around him.
Right.
No one.
But somebody's got to grab him.
The Cavs are getting back. It's 4 Boston Celtics players and no Cavs players.
So
why am I giving him credit for getting 11 rebounds when for 8 of them, there's no one around him?
So Mars, just for the record, Mars, keeping people off the glass matters. There's a difference.
He doesn't box out.
Well, that's not true, Mars. That's not true.
0.2 box outs a game. I looked down.
Give me a break
He
on that.
boxes out once every 5 games.
So why do those dudes, the Cleveland team, why don't they rebound?
Because they want to get back in transition.
Or
maybe
because they can't. Maybe because they can't offensive
That's
rebound. How about
not
that?
true. Well, first of all, the reason they can't offensive rebound is because Boston are pushing that tempo every time they get a defensive rebound. Jaylen Brown, we spoke about, he's attacking in transition every time, so they need to get back. Same thing with Drew Holiday, same thing with Jason Tatum. They're going up and trying to score quickly, so you don't want to crash the offensive glass. And the only one down there who's really big enough to do it is Evan Mobley.
Right.
And Jason Tatum doesn't box out. Like, I don't know what to tell you. He boxed out 0 times last night. The one time he could have boxed out, he let Karis LeVert go straight by him. Karis LeVert didn't get the offensive rebound, but Jason Tatum doesn't box out. So, like, I'm watching him. I'm like, okay, he's averaging 10 rebounds a game.
Right.
Most of them, there's no one around him. He never boxes out. Like, why are we praising these rebounds as, oh, he's doing these things? Like, anyone could have got that rebound. Because Drew Holiday could have got it. Jaylen Brown could have got it.
But he did, though.
Could have got it. He's not doing anything.
Though.
Yeah, fine, but I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, he's a very good rebounder. He's not doing anything.
The fact that he's just what you're trying to insinuate is that he's just standing around and rebounds are just coming to him.
Yes.
Oh man, I'm not buying that.
That's what's happening.
Because this team right here, they keep teams off the glass. And your logic that
not him. Sorry.
Your logic that they keep teams off the glass, they keep this team off the glass because they're afraid of getting beat in transition. Well, wait a minute. We can say that with every team. We can say that with every team.
But
But
there's less offensive rebounds in the league now than there was 20 years ago. Because
even
have emphasized transition defense more than an offensive rebound.
okay, so if that's true, then why we still have to get the ball? We can't just let the ball bounce out of bounds. We still have to get the ball. Jason Tatum stays around the rim. Now, is he Josh Hart as a rebounder? Is he going to stick his nose in there? Is he not Derek White? I'm sorry. Is he Andre Drummond? No, I'm not going to say that. However, the crew that he has, the way that they keep the way that they keep teams off the glass, and the fact that teams are worried about the teams are worried about getting back on defense. I'm not going to hold that against them. But when we get into the half court offense and we get into the meat and potatoes of the game, Jason Tatum will rebound. That is a fact, Mars.
He gets rebound. I'm not saying he doesn't get rebound. I'm saying he doesn't box out.
I'm not talking about with nobody around. Even if even if that's true, if he's not blocking out, I'm athletic enough. Now that's a fundamental issue. Don't get me wrong, Mars. That's a fundamental issue that you don't block out. But I'm athletic enough that I can get myself in the paint to rebound. Again, I'm not Jason. I'm not Josh Hart. I'm not Andre Drummond. I'm not those guys. But I'm good enough that I can get in here and rebound with the best of the bigs too, especially when we get into the meat and potatoes of the game. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to hold that against him when teams are worried about getting back in transition for him getting rebounds and speeding up the game, because he'll throw the ball ahead when he gets the ball.
That's right. Yeah, he did that to Drew Holiday like first minute of the game and he missed the layup.
Exactly. And with him doing that, that's not only does that speed up the Boston Celtic offense, that also screws up Cleveland's transition defense. So I think that helps. I mean, how can we hold that against him?
It does help, but we're talking about, like, my issue is, like, when we're going to, like, oh, Jason Tatum's averaging, I think he's averaging like 10 and a half rebounds in the postseason.
Almost 11 rebounds in the postseason.
But then you watch these rebounds, and I'm like, let's see where he ranks in the playoffs for rebounds per game. He's in the top 10. He's above Evan Mobley, who's clearly a better rebounder than him. Above Bam, above Zubac, above Cat. Paolo averaged 8.5 rebounds, Chet. But when you look at how many of them are contested, only 2 of his 10.5. But then you look at how much he boxes out once every 5 games. Like, I'm sorry. There's no way you be praising rebounds when he boxes out 0.2 times a game.
Mars, this is
he's not putting a body on anyone, and he's getting rebounds. And then every time there is someone around him or someone does try there was 3 rebounds where there was contact on Jason Tatum.
Right.
He fumbled 2 of them out of bounds and got the other one. So every time there's someone around him, he doesn't get the rebounds. So I'm watching this unfold. I'm like, oh, he ended up with 11 rebounds. None of them were difficult rebounds to attain. So like, you get credit for getting the rebound. Like, rebounds are important. But when we're talking about like the best rebounding wings or the best rebounders in the league or all of that, Jason Tatum's name should not be coming up off the sheer fact of just how many rebounds he gets. Rebounding is a skill, just like scoring is a skill. The same way averaging more points per game doesn't make you a better scorer, averaging more rebounds doesn't make you a better rebounder. My issue is with people are blindly looking at how many rebounds he's averaging and saying he's a better rebounder than people he's not. Jason Tatum's rebounding is not something that other people couldn't do if they just got told, don't box out and just wait for the ball to come to you. Anyone could do that. Anyone in the NBA could.
Wait, Mars. I'm so look. So the more I'm listening to you, I'm feeling what you're saying. If we're talking about when you said that when there's people by him, he's not getting the board. So if you're saying that he's not fighting for any rebounds, I can get what you're saying. I'm not gonna discredit any of the rebounds that he's getting, but if he's not getting more rebounds because he's not willing to bang and battle for rebounds, that's an issue. That's an issue I can see. But and I get what you mean. More rebounds doesn't mean you're a better rebounder. I understand that completely as well. But are you saying that when there's somebody by him on the opposite team that he's not going to fight for the board?
I'm saying if there's contact, he's more than likely not going to get the rebound. If there's someone on his back, pause, and he gets bumped like any other traditional rebounder would, when you have to fight for a board, he's either not going to catch it, they're going to get it over his head, or he's going to tip it out of bounds. So that's just what happens.
Well, that's an issue. That's an issue. In fact, if that is true, if that is a thing, then that is the exact opposite. He's not a good rebounder. Not only is he not a good rebounder, but he's a bad rebounder. If he's letting people take rebounds from him, if he has to fight for them, then that shows to me that he's a bad rebounder. I don't care how many he gets. But and that's just how I'm looking at it. If you can't fight for boards, then you're not a good rebounder. But I'm not going to discredit the rebounds he's getting. What I am going to say, Mars, is that this is kind of dangerous as far as like you setting a precedent for us to discredit a lot of stats. Like
I've been trying to discredit the box score. I've been trying to do that for as long as I've been on the show.
100% death to the box score watcher.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I can't get with the box score analysis type people. But what I'm saying is we don't discredit points as far as if it's an open layup. You know what I mean? Or if I pass it to somebody on a fast break, don't take my assist away. You know what I mean?
It is a thing such as unethical buckets that I've heard. Unethical free throws.
But my point, first of all, people are complaining about the fact that I'm giving context to stats. Interesting that you guys just want to look at rebounds and take it for face value. All I'm saying is the numbers he's not as good a rebounder as the numbers suggest. That's what I'm saying. But if the context is bothering you, that's fine. But
no,
scoring,
I think he's a bad rebounder after.
I don't understand how people are like, oh my God, you're applying context to rebounds. This is crazy. Like, if that bothers you, then fine, keep watching the box score. I don't care. But like for me, with scoring, I think some of it is different in terms of we can understand that open layups still count as 2 points, same way a rebound still counts as a rebound. But we also understand, especially in high leverage situations where the game slows down and we need to play more of a half court game, guys who are more transition reliant, how they can struggle in those situations despite how many points they average. We can see that and we can watch it unfold. People are very quick to acknowledge when a person can't shoot and how it affects their scoring. My point is, with rebounding, there's similar flaws that the numbers of how many rebounds you get won't suggest. How many rebounds someone gets, they get 10 rebounds a game, but every time someone actually tries to compete for that rebound with them, they don't get it. The 10 rebounds isn't showing you that. The 10 rebounds isn't showing you how many of the actual rebounds that they have to fight for they get. It's not showing you how many offensive rebounds don't just fall into his hands. Like, we're talking about the skill of rebounding, which it is. It's a skill. I think most people up here would agree it's a skill. Just because you get a lot, that doesn't mean you're skilled. That's what I'm saying. He's not a skilled rebounder.
And that's fine.
Do you combat what I was saying about if Jason Tatum can't fight for rebounds, if he's not getting boards where he has to be physical to get, if he can't get what we'll call contested rebounds for now, if he can't get those, do you can combat what I'm saying about that making him a bad rebounder?
I don't know about bad, but maybe not as good as the numbers show, because the numbers might show that, okay, as a double-digit rebounder, you might be elite. But if we see you averaging 11 rebounds, but ultimately 9 of them are uncontested, it might show that maybe you aren't as physical, you're not as skilled as a rebounder. But I'm thinking to myself, Mars, when you bring up stuff like that, I'm thinking to myself, one, what kind of rebounding team are we going up against? How are we keeping this team off the glass? The fact that Jason Tatum doesn't block out, okay, I get that part. Because there's plenty of guys who don't block. I think that there's plenty of guys in the NBA today who don't know the skill of rebounding. They don't know how to block out. They don't know how to slip blockouts. They don't know how to hold blockouts. They don't know how to get to the rim or have what we used to call that when I was a kid, a nose for the basketball. There are plenty of guys who don't have that. And there are plenty of guys who do have that. But with that being said, for a guy who plays for basically one of the best defensive teams in the league, one of the better dirty work teams in the league, for him not to be a good rebounder because he's playing against teams that they're holding him off on the glass, not a good rebounder. I mean, I got to see more of it. I'm not saying that he's not an elite. I'm not saying that he's an elite rebounder, but I've seen this guy in late games getting rebounds in traffic. I've seen this guy getting rebounds over bigger guys, even if he doesn't block out. To say that he's a bad rebounder, I think that might be.
I ain't say he was bad, but also,
but then doesn't he get credit for tracking the rebounds as well? Then I mean,
yeah, that's what someone said in the chat. Someone said he's tracking them. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I watched the game very intently last night. Very intently. Go ahead and watch the game last night. So you can go back and rewatch it. Tell me how many of the rebounds he tracked. The Boston Celtics,
a lot of them just came right to him.
There's four. Because the Cavs aren't attacking the offensive glass. There's 4 Celtics around the ball. I'm pretty sure on 3 of the rebounds the ball bounced. They aren't going to get it. Jason Tatum he's walking to the ball and getting it, and then they're going to play their offense. You're not about to tell me he's tracking the ball off the. Oh, he's watching. Oh, it's going to come this way. I'm going to go hit. No, he's standing on the weak side corner. The shot goes up, he stares at it, and then he walks to the ball and goes and gets it. That's not tracking the ball off the rim. That's not great rebounding. And
chill.
That's what I'm saying. You guys aren't I'm paying attention to this more than all of you. I don't care what you say. And it's not about just Jason Tatum, because I said the same thing about LeBron James, and I've said the same thing about Luka Dončić. I've said it all season. People are boosting, they're not boosting their rebounding numbers, but it happened when Luka had a crazy 15 rebound game. Ron brought it up, and we started talking about how people are using a slash line of 30, 10, and 11. And when I'm saying these guys who are getting these 30, 12, and 10s, when you look at their rebounds, I'm sorry, it's not more impactful than a Tyrese Halliburton getting 24, 3, and 12. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People are the box score looks more juiced when you get 24, 9, and 8 compared to someone else having 24, 4, and 9, because the 4 rebounds look so much less than everything else. But then you look at the rebounds and it's okay, he got 7 more rebounds, but none of them really did anything. It's not like he was fighting for 7. He's not doing a Josh Hart. He's not doing a Jokic. He's not doing a Domantas Sabonis. People are oh, he's the best rebounder on the Celtics. Porzingis averages less rebounds, but damn near half of his rebounds are actually of him boxing out or having to fight with people for rebounds. So am I moved because Jason Tatum averages 2 more rebounds when none of them are with people around him? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there's context
which is fair, Mars. But back to my point, when I say the ones that aren't, when guys aren't around him, how he speeds the game up, how he takes the ball off the glass and goes with it and creates shots for other people. I'd like to think that that's a big deal. And back to your point about tracking, I mean, Dennis Rodman did that. Dennis Rodman made guys shoot so he can track the ball, so he can understand how the ball came off the rim, where the ball came off the rim, how many times the ball spun. Now, is Jason Tatum the rebounder, or is he studying rebounding like Dennis Rodman? Oh, no, I don't think he does. I think that his rebounding, a lot of the times, he looks at guys that don't rebound, and I'm just going to go to the glass, and I'll go get this one, I'll go get that one. Sure, but I think that you don't get as far as these guys get if you're not rebounding. Now, I understand, Mars, that they're not, quote-unquote, contested as much as you'd like to think, but we still got to rebound. Whether these teams are getting back in transition because they don't want to get beat, that's not all teams. There are plenty of teams that go to the offensive glass and they still keep them off the glass, which would explain why Boston is one of the better defensive rebounding teams in the league. Not just because they're getting, not just because rebounds are just coming to them.
Chill. I want to ask a favor of you. Because I know you're on playback tomorrow for the Cavs and the Celtics game.
I am. Mm-hmm.
And so, are you able to track these rebounds for Jason Tatum?
I'll pay more attention to it. I will tell you that. Yes,
and talk about that in the flow of the game, and kind of point out. All right,
I will.
Mars is actually right. That was.
I'll pay more.
That was a low
Jason
calorie.
Tatum gonna listen to this show and he gonna start boxing out. I'll be like, yeah, I got motion. I see Jason Tatum start boxing out. I promise I'm gonna say NBA players watch the show.
Well, we already know that they do, so it's not.
If I see Jason Tatum box out on the first play of the game, I'll be like, that's because of me.
Yeah.
Shout out all the NBA guys watching right now. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, and if you are listening, play better defense.
I think it's interesting that Damo would say that Ant is better than Jason Tatum right now, even though he was playing better. I will say that, but
he'll be up here soon.
He actually does hate Jason Tatum.
Let's make sure that we've
been calling him a number 2 for like that we've been on the show.
Absolutely.
It's a playback. Hey, Open Gym will be on playback tomorrow. I promise I will pull up every Jason Tatum rebound this season. Just to prove a point. I promise.
Hey, playback got it. Open Gym got an agenda tomorrow on playback. And if you haven't been over to playback yet, go ahead and download the app or just go to playback.tv. Join the Players' Choice Room. We watching all the playoff games. We will be watching the Knicks and the Pacers tonight, or we will be watching the Pacers beat the Knicks tonight on playback. Y'all make sure y'all pull up. My man J-Rob going to be holding it down. I may come and crash the party, depending on how Halliburton looks in the first quarter or not. I may pull up or not, but that's going to be a good game. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to give our thoughts and predictions and whatnot on that. I do got a few super chats, and I also want you guys to like the video if you haven't liked. Shout out all of our members and shout out all of our new subscribers as well. Oh, and one more thing too. Don't be a casual, be an ex-casual, and you could do that by going to playerschoicemerch.com and checking out some of this good old merch right here. That will allow you to not be a casual anymore. It will allow you to get out of your casual ways. You'll stop saying casual phrases. You'll stop saying casual words. You'll stop thinking casually.
Ron, you be moving like a Jason Tatum rebound, bro.
Sorry. That's
I'm
all
talking
right.
about
I'll still average 10 rebounds.
No integrity.
And for the record, Ron, that's an extra 500 racks in your contract.
Zero integrity, Ron. I might pull up depending on how Tyrese Halliburton plays in the first quarter. But you a busted, bro.
Get Ron off the floor, Ox. Get Ron off the floor right now.
Well, see, the thing about it is, you know what? I'm not gonna get into it. We'll talk about it in a little bit. I'll give my prediction for tonight as well as you guys too. But I do got some super chats, so let's go ahead and do this. My man Void Century said, "Will a la Madrid."
Yes, sir. Yo, big game tonight. You guys gotta tap in.
Who y'all play tonight?
Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich. Second leg.
Bayern.
It's gonna be a big game, man.
Bayern.
Who should win? Let me rephrase that.
Madrid should win.
Okay.
Madrid should win. We got the draw at their ground, and now we have to burn about it. It should be like it's for us to lose, really, in my opinion.
All right.
Who you got tonight, Mars?
Mars does not watch football, so Mars can't give an objective opinion. Because Mars, when we have conversations where you haven't watched and you don't know what you're talking about, you sit over there like a church mouse. So don't start it right now.
I can give a prediction. I can give a prediction and then say I'm probably not gonna watch the game.
Wait,
I won't Bayern Munich. Probably not. I want Bayern Munich to win that.
FC Bayern.
German Champions League final. That would be all right.
Facts.
No, we don't want to see that.
Cultured Saunders said Tatum is a dub elite role player this playoffs.
Everyone's
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Everyone plays a role.
By the way,
can we get back to the conversations I was trying to have last season
about what?
Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
Okay. I thought Jaylen Brown is very good, but I just think the difference is even the way teams treat Jason Tatum, like even when he's not scoring well, like they treat him differently, which maybe I don't know why they choose to do it. Well, I have a feeling, but they treat him as more of a threat than Jaylen Brown, in my opinion. Now, do I think it's a good decision? Maybe not. But I think I think teams are still going to game plan more for what Jason Tatum can do than Jaylen Brown. Right. But I think Jaylen Brown in the open floor,
pretty impressive.
I
don't do lists, but he one of the best for sure.
When you talk about
that's not possible. It's not possible, Chill. It's not possible, Mars. He can't go left. He's a bum. He sucks. He can't go left. No left hand, Jaylen Brown.
Mars, when you talk about transition players in the game, James, Giannis, Siakam, this is just statistically. Like I think those three guys are at the top of the list. But when you're talking about transition players, and KD. When you talk about
Hey, don't sleep on Josh Hart, man. I've seen Josh Hart because too many times. Huh?
Josh Hart. When you talk about transition players, where do you think Jaylen Brown is as a transition player in the league?
He's the elite of the elite. I mean, I think Giannis probably holds like he's the tier S. Like Giannis probably by himself on that. But Jaylen Brown, like he's in that next group for sure. I don't know like where exactly he would rank, but other than Giannis, I don't know if you're taking it's as a scorer in transition. I don't think you're taking many over Jaylen Brown just because it doesn't have to be just transition. It could be semi-transition, like he like with like just their secondary break, receiving an outlet or going coast to coast himself. But he can also space the floor in terms of like just run into corners, etc. Like everything he can do in transition. Like you can't stay in front of him. Like
I'm outside of scoring. What else do you hold Jaylen Brown in the high regard?
Jaylen Brown's I think he's a better defender. I have.
In what aspect? In what aspect is he a better defender?
On ball, he's a better on ball defender. I think. Other than that, I don't think he clears anywhere. But I definitely think he's a better on ball defender.
Wait, so Ox. Wait, so Ox. So wait, the point that you was about to make before like Chill and Mar started talking was is like Jaylen Brown the number one option?
He's not the number one option. I think he's
okay.
And mind you, I was having this conversation all last season that I think Jaylen Brown's better than Jason Tatum. I wasn't as sure. I've been kind of leaving that take alone, but I always thought it was a good conversation to have, and I'm still not opposed to having the conversation. You know, I just kind of left it alone. But
are you bothered by his free throws?
I am. I am 100%. I am, Oz. Yes, I am. I am bothered by his free throws. I'm bothered by how he disappears. Like Jason Tatum has a tendency to fade out in games, but the way that Jaylen Brown disappears, where I've seen him. I watched him play the Knicks. He had 26 in the first half. He didn't do anything else for the rest of the game. And Jaylen Brown is that kind of player who, if he's getting buckets, if he's not scoring, he does other things, but he doesn't do them nearly as well as Jason Tatum does.
Jason Tatum does the same exact thing, Chill. And
no,
I've seen him do it more times than Jaylen Brown, where he would just have a first or second half where he scores 4 points, or you know what I'm saying, just doesn't do anything. Has 18 in the first quarter and finishes the game with 26, like 26. Sure. Yep. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum does that all the time. And like I said, I think Jaylen Brown's a better defender. So when either one of them aren't scoring, I think Jaylen Brown's impacting the game more than Jason. Like if both of them have 15, Jaylen Brown had a better game.
Wow. But you don't think that Jaylen Brown benefits from the teams more so focusing on Tatum versus giving that same attention to Jaylen Brown? Because if Jaylen,
I don't believe that, bro. I hear that all the time. He only scored because they're guarding him too. But like, and that's what I hate. I just talked about that briefly the other day when we were talking about the Wolves. The Wolves, I forgot how was it. The Wolves weren't focused on Jamal or something, so like the role players weren't playing defense. Something crazy. I don't subscribe to that way of thinking. I believe that when you're doing your scouting report, you're guarding everybody, and you're not just not guarding Jaylen Brown.
Well, not, but of course you're guarding everybody, but you're gonna give more defensive focus to Jason Tatum, which is then gonna open things a little bit more for Jaylen Brown.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it like a pie chart, then, Will. On a pie chart, how much of this pie is our defense giving to Jason Tatum?
I say
you're coaching. How's your pie chart?
I say like about 40%, like 35, 40%.
35, and how much of it goes to Jaylen Brown?
I say like 25.
And the rest goes to just amongst everybody else?
Yeah, like however you want. Yeah,
I mean, they did put Isaac Okoro on. They did put Isaac Okoro on Jaylen Brown last night, and he's their best perimeter defender. So
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Just do with that information what you will.
Because I don't think if you put Jaylen Brown, let's say if the Celtics they lose and they don't make the finals, and then now we're talking about they might have to break up this team, right? Because it's going to be very expensive to keep JT and Jaylen Brown and then everybody else and still build a competitive roster around those two. I think if you trade Jaylen Brown to another team, I think he could be a number one option in the NBA, but just not on a true contending team that people would expect to win the finals.
Right, and without Jaylen Brown, is Jason Tatum still on the contending team?
Yes, depending on how you replace him, though. So I mean, I think yes, because the Celtics would Now that you don't have to pay JB like all that money that he's owed, yeah, you could get creative and you could bring in maybe not players who are exactly on his level, but are still quality players that I think Jason Tatum could still have the Celtics in the same conversations that we're putting them in right now.
Well, Mars, to your point, where you talked about them putting Isaac Okoro on Jaylen Brown, wouldn't that be situational? So Jason Tatum wasn't really doing much last night offensively. So you would naturally take your best perimeter defender and put him on the guy who's cooking the most. Because I also think they put him on Derek White too, and it really didn't matter. So
they started with Okoro and Jaylen Brown there.
Right.
That was the start. So
right.
I mean, Jaylen Brown is known for like getting out to fast starts. Like that's probably on his time report.
That's who he is.
I don't know like where he ranks in terms of first quarter scoring, but it's probably pretty damn high. So like maybe that's part of it. Right. I think personally it's probably just they like Max Strus as like his low center of gravity, able to play physically with Jason Tatum. I think that's probably why they did it. But they don't like. I think the action in the last game, in game one, the action they ran for Jason Tatum was a lot more like we want this certain matchup and then JT can attack. Jaylen Brown is like go at whoever's in front of you. Like it's just a different. It's more. I think it's more methodical with JT, and it's a lot more like it's less organized with Jaylen Brown. I'm not saying that's a bad thing because I think it's just a difference in approach. I think Jaylen Brown is you go at whoever's in front of you in transition, semi-transition, and then once you got it going and you're kind of like you've seen a couple go through, we're still comfortable with you getting isolation, self-creating here and there. But Jason Tatum is a lot more methodical. Is like on this possession, we want this matchup, and then we're gonna play off of that. I think that's just why I think it's just a different approach. And some people prefer Jaylen Brown, some people prefer Jason Tatum, but I think Jason Tatum probably is the best player on the team. But
what's bro's name on the Grizzlies? Went to TCU.
Desmond Bane.
Desmond. If you traded Desmond Bane and Brandon Clark for Jaylen Brown, Ja and Jaylen win before Jason.
I love Jason. I love Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown on Memphis. But let's make it a fair trade. Like Desmond Bane, Brandon Clark, and a pick or two or something, right? Like Memphis. They win before the Celtics.
Man,
they win what?
They
win what?
A title,
like a championship? No, nah.
John and Jaylen get it done.
With Triple J.
What I do want to say though is chilling Ox. Y'all both made a point about Jaylen Brown scores 26 in the first half and doesn't score in the second. And Ox, you said you do the same thing with Jason Tatum. I do want to say they both resemble the late great Houdini, where they both have disappearing acts. They both can be here one quarter, and then the next quarter it's like, where's he at? And so that's my biggest thing too, and that's also why they're in a privileged position because one might disappear, but they still got the other. But that's also why I do say I have my concerns about the Celtics. But even with that being said, they have one determining factor that's always going to be there. That that Derek White is always going to be there to save one of them brothers. He's always going to be there to step in. If Jason Tatum falls, he'll be there to step in for Jason Tatum. If Jaylen Brown doesn't show up for a half or a quarter or a game, he'll be there to be their second best player. So that's why they'll be all right because they got Derek White.
What's his contract like? It's just like his last season with them. How are they going to be able to? Derek White. Like, how many years left do he have?
I think he is a free agent. I think
because there's no way that they're going to be able to extend him, or unless he takes a massive pay cut.
Hey, they better get this ring now. If that boy a free agent, I'm talking about they are on the clock.
No, I think he has one more season. I think he has one more season with them.
He got to have one more season.
24,
I haven't seen him on I haven't seen him on the free agent list. And we will be talking about that. That's going to be a major free agent move.
Last season. Yep.
But Will, you haven't been up here in a while. This is episode 300, so I want to start a pot a little bit. I want to get back to our old players' choice roots where we used to get extremely nasty up here. I want to ask you, what is one of your craziest takes that you have? And I know it's something you've been wanting to get off for a very long time, so Will.
Well,
The floor
I
is
don't know.
yours.
I don't know if it's crazy.
You
but
know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. All right, yeah. We get to it. Yeah, I think Bronny James is a bum. And if his name wasn't what it was, I think that he'll be on LinkedIn right now and he'll be looking for jobs just like the rest of us. So to me, nepotism at its finest. I think he'll be an end of the bench player in the NBA. And I mean, look, I'm not mad at him. You know, he won the sperm lottery. Like, it is what it is. You know, like, he ended up being LeBron's kid, and he's going to get a career because of it. But I don't think he's going to be successful at all. I don't think you watch Bronny, there's nothing that he does extremely well. I know people talk about his defending like he's Kawhi Leonard or Drew Holiday. I don't even think that he's going to be that the next level. I think he's going to be under the bench.
Who talks about him like
that? All you got to do is just look online. Like, the way that people talk about Bronny, like, they love him. And I think it's because they just love his dad. But it's nothing because of what he's
that's
done.
what it is. It's not him.
How many USC games have you watched?
I probably watched like three last season. Like,
and that was enough for you to call him a bum?
Yeah, I mean, because I just been seeing Bronny's game since high school, and I don't know how he was a McDonald's All-American. He wasn't the best player at Sierra Canyon, and I think the only time that people even talked about USC really, or even posted them on Instagram or anything, was if Bronny did something. Nobody was talking about Isaiah Collier. Nobody was talking about the other guys like on that squad. So to me, I just go in on Bronny because I don't understand the hype that he gets.
You just said you understood it. He's LeBron James' son, so now you do understand it.
No,
you You do understand it.
No, I'm talking about I understand the media
and him being a bum. Like, you know what a bum? A bum is a guy who can't play.
Yeah, I don't think Bronny's good at all.
Will though?
Well, okay.
Will.
Hold on, wait. Let me say this. I think Bronny is better than the average person. Yes, like if I had to play 1-on-1 versus Bronny, I think he would cook me. He would embarrass me. Yes.
Forget you. We're talking about LeBron James.
Do you think he deserves to be a D1 athlete?
No.
You don't think he's a division?
I mean, he could at least play mid-major D1 somewhere.
Yeah, you
lost. Okay, well, like mid-major, like not Power 5, like not a Power 5 conference. No.
Are we forgetting this man had a heart attack like 6 months ago?
It doesn't matter, bro. Because
why doesn't that matter?
Because you're healthy enough to play.
Okay,
you're healthy enough to play. So then, if it affects you that much, then retire.
So that's fair. That is fair. So we're going off one season as a freshman. So we don't know what this guy's gonna. Because I'm not with these other people projecting what he's going to be as a pro. I think he should stay in school. I personally think he should stay in school and get better. But we're going off one season. If we're going off one season, there's plenty of guys that are in the NBA who weren't very good in college, first season that they played in college, but they progressively got better. A prime example would be Ox's guy with the Sacramento Kings. I don't know if you noticed, but Davion Mitchell, his freshman year, you know what he averaged? 4 points and 2 rebounds. As a junior, he was a lottery pick. You know why he was a lottery pick? Because he got better. He worked on his game, which is what Bronny James can do because he has the athletic ability. I think the skill set will improve. He's not the same player he was in the 9th grade that he was in the 12th grade. He's not going to be the same player as a freshman that he's going to be as a junior.
Chill, that goes to Will's point, though. That goes to Will's point. Right quick, Will. That's like Davion Mitchell getting praise as a freshman for averaging 4 points. Nobody would do that.
Nobody was talking about Davion Mitchell averaging 4 points.
But he wouldn't be a projected second-round pick, even if you knew in 2 years he was going to develop into what he would be. You would wait those 2 years to see the production, then you will put him on those draft boards.
Are we gonna act like production in college just leads to where you're gonna get like Zach Edey's been the best player in the country for 3 years and he might not be a lottery pick. So we're not gonna act like just how well you produce in college is what teams are looking at in the draft. They're looking at tools. Like the league is
you're right, but production does play a key too, though.
For sure. Like, the high picks, for sure. You get later in the draft, is strictly potential. Teams are drafting strictly on what they think a player can become. Once you get to a late first round pick, unless it's a team that's trying to win now, they might get like an older college player who can contribute right away. But more often than not, they're drafting a guy who they think can develop into something special. I talk about Peyton Watson all the time. Peyton Watson was a late first round pick, went to UCLA and averaged like 2 points and was terribly inefficient. But you know what Denver saw? Denver saw an elite athlete who had length and could play defense at a very high level. That's what they saw. So they was like, we're going to take a flyer on him because it's a late first round pick. Who cares? The 29th pick. We'll live. And what can he develop into? We'll live with it. Bronny James is a 6'3", 6'4" guard who's a strong athlete who can play defense and has potential to be a strong shooter.
He can shoot too.
Not to mention having LeBron James as your father, it helps. But we're not going to act like you see those tools and a team isn't going to be like, with these tools, Is a second round pick potentially worth it? Yes. What's the knock of a second round pick?
No,
Like,
the only reason why you
Bronny James
Nah, wait,
could possibly get drafted even if LeBron wasn't his father. Would it be this year? Probably not. But some point during his college career, yes. If he shows the potential and the flashes, yes.
So
And on top of that,
so
Will,
if Bronny James' name,
before you go any further,
go
Will,
ahead.
what is the kid? Because Mars just brought up potential. What is the kid's name that went to Alabama? I think he was picked number 8. I think
Primo?
was it Primo? I think he
Yeah,
averaged
Primo, Kira Lewis,
Josh Primo.
someone of those guys. He averaged 8 points as a freshman. They're not picking him because he's an awesome pro. They're picking him because in 4 years, this is what we think he's going to do. A lot of these GMs, they would rather these kids stay in school because the better players, contrary to popular belief, they're actually better when they come out of college. Prime example, Ox, who's the kid that you love down in Miami?
Oh, Jaime Hawkins.
And how long did he play at UCLA?
All 4.
These GMs would actually rather these kids stay in school and develop as opposed to what you're talking about, which is Bronny James is a pro right now. I don't particularly think he's a pro right now. I think he's a pro in the future, and I think he could be a damn good pro once he develops.
Okay, wait, but like
let me get in here too real quick, Will. Let me get in here too real
right.
quick. Let me just get my take on it. I hear what you're saying. I didn't think that he's definitely not ready to go to the NBA right now, in my opinion. But to call him a bum is way. I mean, for this level, for what he's playing out right now, I think he has all the athletic attributes. He's shown his ability to knock down open jump shots. He's a hell of a defender. I think he has all the things that you would want as a point guard at a Division I basketball, in Division I college basketball. Like that's where my mind is at right now. With the NBA, I can't speak for that. But for a Division I point guard, Bronny's got all the tools you want. Size, athleticism, strength. You know what I'm saying? He has basketball IQ. You can watch. He reminds me of his pops really on the defensive end, just knowing where to be and things like that. So I think he got all the tools. But I'm with you as far as like there's no way I wouldn't draft him. I wouldn't think about drafting him right now.
The only reason the only reason that teams are even considering drafting Bronny is because his dad may be a free agent, and you possibly know if you get Bronny, you get his dad for at least maybe one season. That's gonna bring in a lot of money. You're gonna be on TV, bro. That's the number one reason why.
Okay, that can be the number one reason. That can be the number one reason. That's not the only reason. Let's stop it. Let's stop the cap. It's not the only reason.
Okay, so if you had to put it percentage-wise, let's say the possibility of getting LeBron James, that's about probably 90% of why teams would want to draft Bronny.
Not you gotta think you get the stash away a kid that can probably be like Avery Bradley. You know what I'm saying? That's I look at him. I see an Avery Bradley. I'm like, if I draft him now, and if we do get his pops, then bam, that's a plus. But if not, in 2 seasons, I got Avery Bradley.
So if his name was Nick Smith,
if I can get him late first round, that's potentially a good draft pick in the next 2
years. Will, I don't know exactly where you're going with it.
If his name was Nick Smith, and he played ball for Rutgers,
right,
averaging what he put up, shooting from the free throw line, what he shot from 3, what he shot,
right,
we'd be talking about him, as I said earlier, going to LinkedIn and looking for a job. Exactly.
No. Will, when you say a job, do you mean like Walmart?
No, we would
not. You mean like Walmart? Because Amazon from USC.
What kind of job are you talking about?
That's not true.
Google or something like Cody.
No, Damo, that's not true. We would not. If it was Nick Smith, if this was Nick Smith as a freshman at a Big Ten school, averaging 4 points and 2 rebounds, we are not talking about this kid getting a job. We're talking about them building this program and him getting better. He's not a senior.
Does he have
played 4 years? He's not that.
Does he have the high school career he had?
I mean,
how far are we doing this? Are we literally is he having the same trajectory as Bronny, but we're just changing his name so he still has heart problems? He still has the heart thing.
Oh my goodness, that's not an excuse, bro.
I'm not giving an excuse. I'm asking you a question. I'm not making an excuse. You don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just asking the question. Are we keeping everything the same? Is the exact same timeline, different name, or now is everything changing? He's just he's a 4 or 5 star kid that went to college for 1 year and averaged 4 points. Is that the new timeline, Are we on a new planet now?
That's what it sounds like we are. That's what it sounds like we are, Damo.
Or we just changing his name?
Hold on, wait a minute. But why? What's he a 4 or 5
If we just change his name,
because
he's what you call. If we just change his name, he's a 2nd round pick.
Will, you think that he was just a 4-star because his name is Bronny James?
Yes.
You were watching Sierra Canyon play basketball?
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Not every game.
You didn't watch any games. You didn't watch any games.
No. They played Christ the King, and I watched that game.
How'd he do?
His senior year.
How'd he do?
He was just a player. I think he had like 10 points. He didn't stand out. Like, he didn't look better than any of the other guys
5-star production
on the court. Like, he doesn't bro. Brian does not stand out anywhere. Come on now, like, let's be honest.
He stands out defensively. What are we talking about?
Oh my god,
that's the first place he stands out.
Okay, so there's not 1,000 other kids who could play good defense as well.
That's not what you said. That's not what you said. You said he doesn't stand out.
We're not talking about. No, because he doesn't.
That's fine. No. So do your make that your job. Make that your job to talk about the 1,000 other kids that plays great defense deserve to be talked about. Make that your job. Stop getting mad at everybody else for not doing it. Make it your job. That's what you care about.
I'm not getting mad at people for not talking about them. But what I'm saying is people don't like to acknowledge that the only reason that we even care about Bronny is because of who his father is. That's my main thing against him.
That's not the only
act
reason.
Like he's a really good basketball player. And that's where I have an issue with him.
He is a good basketball player. He is a good basketball player.
And then on top of that, how many legends have kids that also go on to be really good or to reach star levels? It doesn't really happen like that.
Well, I don't expect. Well, hold on. I don't expect Bronny James to be LeBron James. There's nobody asking that, because if you asking that,
who thinks he's going to be that?
Right.
Who have you talked to?
I'm not
thinks he's going to be he's going to be a superstar.
First of all, he's almost 6 inches shorter than his father. So
I'm going to say, because if you ask me, he's Gary Payton II with a jump with a 3-ball in the NBA. That's what I think he is.
You know what that is,
okay,
Damo?
What makes you think he's going to have?
And by the way, barring any health issues, Damo, that's a dude that's going to play 12 years in the NBA. That's what that is. That's a rotation guy that's going to play 12 years in the NBA. If that's Gary Payton II with a jump shot, he's going to play 12 years.
All right. So in 3-4 years, when Bronny James is playing for the Westchester Knicks, would y'all give me my flowers?
You think he's in the D League?
A G League player is a bum?
You think he's in the G League?
I mean, well,
I don't think a G League player is a bum. So you said he was.
I don't either.
But so was LeBron James making Bronny shoot 40% from 3 in high school on catch and shoot jumpers? Was that LeBron doing it for him, or was he just a good shooter, in your opinion?
I mean, there was lower competition, so he looked a little better. All right, fair enough.
But you said he didn't. Okay, so he didn't stand out.
No, he didn't stand out.
That's fine. Because Bronny James projects.
Say that if you didn't watch him play.
Yeah, he projects to be a role player. B, I'm pretty sure if I asked you to name 4 of Bronny James' teammates on Sierra Canyon, you wouldn't be able to do it. But that's besides the point. So if Bronny James was shooting 40% on catch and shoot jumpers in high school, people are saying he projects to be someone who can shoot at the NBA level. The evidence is when he was healthy, he could shoot. Then the defense is what most scouts and people who watch Sierra Canyon and USC have spoke about, where Bronny can project to be as a very strong defender guard in 1s and 2s because of his strengths, his size, his IQ, his feel for the game. What part of those things don't translate to being an NBA player?
So what I'm asking is, why did he shoot 40%?
Answer the question, Will. Get back focused. What part of that doesn't translate to an NBA player? I'm listening.
No, you could say he's an NBA player. I didn't say that he could not be a pro. What I'm saying is, if it was not because he was okay.
That's not a pro. That's a bum.
Okay, maybe it's because I don't know you guys' personal takes on here, right, about Bronny. But when most people talk about Bronny online, when you see videos that people talk, that's more so where my energy comes from, is that he gets a lot of hype that I don't think is warranted. I'm not saying that he does not have any intangibles.
Who's 2 people? They're having these conversations. So who are these people having these conversations? Give me a Twitter handle. Give me a media personality. Give me somebody hyping up Bronny so I can see it too. Let me see. All right. I need to see.
Okay, well, I don't know everybody's like YouTube name. It's not people that I watch regularly, but I'll send you videos. Like, I don't know what your handles are, but like, like when I get off here,
what did they say? Those people, what did they say? They were hyping him. What did they say?
That they think that Bronny could be a star at the next level.
And when did they say this? I'm sorry. When did they say this? His senior year, when he first got the USC, or after the heart attack or heart issue? When did they say this?
Cardiac arrest.
Well, again, that's not an excuse. But I don't remember like the timeline was when they published the videos, but I remember like he like declared for like the draft or said he's gonna see out his options or possibly be in the transfer portal. People were talking about it then, and then maybe right before he got to USC, people were talking about it then as well when they were talking about how he could project to do in college. But then when he went to USC, okay, I get it. He had the heart issues. But my main thing is if Bronny was out there dropping like 15 points, shooting very efficiently, nobody's talking about the heart problems. But because he didn't go out there and he didn't play all that well, now that's used as an excuse. So to me, it can't be a valid argument because then somebody's failing him then. Either the doctors at USC, the training facilities, or whoever he's seeing. But you can't use that as now, oh, this is why Bronny hasn't been playing that well.
I don't think anyone's used that as I don't think anyone said, oh, he's playing poorly because he had a cardiac arrest, but
It's whenever he's criticized. Like that gets
I mean, to act like having a heart issue doesn't affect athletic performance. Crazy. I mean, I guess, but cool.
So then why not retire? Like, if it's affecting you that much, then why not retire?
Gang, what did he do to you?
Not nothing, bro.
What did he do to you, bro? What did he do?
Yo,
he
I don't know
he
why
took a scholarship from your man
so much.
he took a scholarship from your man's. Like, was your man supposed to be on USC, but they gave a scholarship to Bronny or something? Like, what he do to you, bro?
Nah, it didn't do nothing to me. It's just like I don't like just like the overhype that he gets. It's just too much hype.
When I say people overhype somebody, I know the people because I can clearly, tangibly put my hands on the people saying it. I was so sick when Mike Korzimba started overhyping Lonzo Ball, saying he was Steph with a 40-inch vertical. That is me putting a person behind the hype. But if you're sitting here telling me Darvin Ham used on Twitter said Bronny's going to be a star and that sets you off, I feel like there's more behind this. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, I mean, like I also had an issue with Bron tweeting out that Bronny could help the Lakers right now. And about how
what
he's
is
better
he
than some guys in the league right now.
That's his son. What is he supposed to? I'm gonna say the same thing I said about LeVar hyping up his kid, about Marvin Bagley's dad hyping him up, De'Aaron Fox's dad hyping him up, any NBA dad hyping up their son. What is he supposed to say?
Pretty sure pretty sure I heard Doc Rivers talking about Austin Rivers when he was coming out. 100%.
I mean, but Austin Rivers was a monster in high school.
The point is that he was talking about him as his father.
I mean, look.
Hello, everyone.
If you want to be a dad, you want to like overhype your son, then that's cool. But I mean, then you can't be upset when people.
No, what up, brother?
Take,
right.
And that's it.
Will, that's a terrible take.
Why is that?
Yeah, Bronny take is terrible because Bronny doesn't get treated by his peers because he's LeBron's son. He get treated by people like you because he's LeBron's son. You know how many freshmen average 4 points in college basketball? Compare Bronny to like when he played in McDonald's All-America game, he was exceptional. When he played in Nike Hoop Sunday, he was exceptional. And those are all top 25 kids playing. And hi, buddy. I'm talking to Will. He's a little, Right. So he look, say hi.
What up, little dude? Hi. What's up, little dude?
So you getting mad at Bronny averaging 4 points. A lot of college basketball players average 4 points. You just know him. He's on the spotlight because he's LeBron's son, not because he doesn't play the game well, just because he's Bron's son. A lot of McDonald's All-Americans faltered. He's not the only McDonald's All-American in the transfer portal. Daddy. Yes, buddy. So you're just mad because he's Bron's son. And you probably overhyped him yourself, and now you're upset.
Nah, I never overhyped him. I never overhyped him.
Comparing him to say he's not. You want to debate?
Yeah. He might cook. Look, he might. I don't know. He might cook.
Yeah. And Del, to your point, you've seen these high school kids going into college. You've seen what they look like just in the Northeast alone. Plenty of them that have gone to not even Syracuse or St. John's or Seton Hall. We ain't even talking about those guys. We're talking about the dudes that's going to St. Francis and Wagner and lower level Division I schools that's averaging 5 points and 4 points as freshmen. You know what these dudes look like, right? So this is
Bronny's coming off a heart. We don't know what went on with his heart and all that stuff. I'm just saying, give him a chance. Is he a bum? No. Me personally, I love Bronny's game. I think he'll be a better pro than he is a college player, just because the translation of the game. And I heard somebody comparing him to Gary Payne. I like watching Bronny play when he was in EYBL, when he played in the McDonald's. I had him compared to Drew Holiday. That's my comparison for him is Drew Holiday. Like the way he plays defense, the way he just.
Can you imagine that?
He has no flaws really.
Like think about that for a second, Will.
He has no flaws.
Not today.
Everything
In the
pretty good as
future.
a basketball player.
In the future, 3 years from now, Bronny is still in college and he coming out of school and he's Avery Bradley or he's Davion Mitchell or he's Pat Beverly. Or to Damo's point, he's Gary Payton Jr. II with a long ball. I'm saying, what GM doesn't want that?
What's wrong with that exactly?
What GM is saying, no, I'm good. I'm a pass. Because he ain't 6'8", 250 pounds, and basically it's from another planet.
All right, so real quick, can I just get y'all expectations for what he is at the next level?
I mean, I feel like everybody said it. A defensive-minded guard who can shoot the ball. I mean,
okay. Like off the bench, he's starting like
a role player. Everyone up here is telling you role player, or if anything, a starter, but no star. I don't see. Okay. I mean, outside again, it's hard to find people who are going to be super humble and realistic about high schoolers at that level that are playing super great and just sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, this guy's going to be a quality role player." No, a lot of people are going to call these high school guys, 4-star guys, they're going to call them stars. That's expected. You're supposed to do your due diligence and watch these players and come up with your own assumption of a guy. That's it. You're not supposed to be going off of whatever Stan account says it, whatever YouTuber says it. Hell, I don't even listen to scouts no more. I just watch players for myself. I've been preaching this for the longest. Stop going by what other people are saying about players. What do you think? And then go by that. Fuck what everybody else is saying. If you don't see Bronny as a star and you're talking to people that you actually respect their basketball opinions, if they're not saying Bronny is a star, then what the hell are we talking about? Like, what are you worried about? Whatever random person you see make a YouTube video to get their likes off. We know how this game works. You're trying to get your likes off. You're trying to get your engagement up to get this money. That's it. You seen a YouTube video of a guy trying to get money, so he said, "Yo, Bronny's a star," and you're like, "Oh man, they overhyping him." Come on, gang.
Yeah, but you can't act like that's not the consensus opinion of Bronny online.
That's not the consensus opinion of Bronny online. It's not him being a star. No.
And Will, to Damo's point, I mean, Gary, how many years did Gary Payton II play at Oregon State? I think he played all 4 years.
I want to say all 4, yeah.
No, he definitely played all 4.
And
I wouldn't watch them play down in Fort Vallis.
And just so you know, Will, his last season, he was the defensive player of the year in the Pac-12. Is that ridiculous to think that Bronny, as in his senior year, can't be in that conversation? As the defender that he is in the next 3 years? Is that ridiculous to think that he can't be that?
I don't think he will.
There's been players who were drafted putting up bad numbers in college as freshmen. Like, I don't know.
Plenty.
The NBA is different now. If they see potential in Bronny, they're gonna take him. Chris Livingston got drafted last year and he averaged like 6 points at Kentucky. So
6.
All right, look, we'll just see then. We'll just see. We'll see whether he stays or he goes back to college. I do agree though. He should go back to college. He shouldn't go out right now. But I think he wants to. But I think he comes out because I think Bron wants to play with them, and I don't think Bron's gonna wait 3 more years to play with Bronny. So
I mean, I think if he gets a guarantee from a team going to draft him, he'll probably come out. If he doesn't, he'll probably go back. I don't think Bronny's career. I don't think Bronny is going to decide his NBA future or basketball future based on his father. Personally, I don't think he's going to do that. And I don't know him to know for sure, but I just don't think he'll do that.
And I don't think his father's going to do that neither, Mars, because I think his father recognizes that. And to Damo's point, I mean, to counter Damo's point, I do think his father recognizes why these teams are drafting him. It might not be the only reason why they're drafting him, but there is an agenda here that if they draft him, they get me. Well, what happens after the 1 year that I'm not here? Are they just going to do away with my kid? I'm not interested in sacrificing my kid in that way. So if they're going to draft my kid and they end up getting me, I need to understand exactly what your goal is with him moving forward. Because I'm damn sure not putting on a Detroit Pistons uniform. I'm not putting on a Portland Trail Blazer uniform for 1 year for you guys to just do away with my kid 2 years later. I'm not doing that. Hell no.
He goes to the draft combine, so we'll see what he does. If he does well at the combine, he's probably going to get drafted.
And he's also in the transfer portal too, so we'll keep a close eye as to where he goes. I personally think he should go back and play for the great Coach Musselman at USC, but we'll have to see. We'll keep a close eye on that, obviously, whether he stays, whether he enters the draft portal, or whether he transfers somewhere else, or the draft. But we'll see. We do got a bunch of members. My man Damo in the house. I got Will in the house. Delroy in the building. Mars, chill. Ox is somewhere doing what he's doing. But let me shout out the members, though. Isaac I Height became a member today. Shout out to Isaac. Z6BCM also became a member. That guy Flo. Shout out that guy Flo. He's a member. Welcome to the party. Matt W became a member. Welcome to the party too. Jasir. Shout out Jasir. He became a member today. And also Deshaun Kemp also became a member, man. Shout out to all the members. We love y'all over here. Appreciate y'all for joining the network. Stay tapped in. We got more good content on the way for you. We haven't talked about the Thunder yet. The Thunder versus the Mavs. We'll get into that. Rudy, 4-time defensive player of the year. We'll get into that. Also, we got a pivotal game 2 tonight in the Garden. Knicks versus the Pacers. We're going to talk about that as well. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats, and then we're going to get into all of these good topics that we need to get into. Also, I got to shout out our Telegram group chat. All of us are in there. We constantly debating 24 hours. It'd be debates that go on at midnight. It'd be debates that go on at 3 a.m. I woke up in the middle of the night last night, and I seen these guys in there debating this and that. So I mean, if y'all want to debate us personally, Damo, me, Mars, Ox, they'll be in there. Join this. It's pinned at the top of the chat. Y'all can come holler at us. Cultured Saunders said, fuck that. We want the Harden story.
Still waiting.
Script doesn't say James Harden on the
Actually,
script.
that's not the script. Just so you guys know, that's not the script. He showed.
That's
Ron writes the script. Ron writes the script.
We got another super chat from Nick Tri-State. He said, "A la Madrid." Will, you are y'all for sure gonna get this victory tonight?
For sure.
What time y'all play, Will?
If you want the East Coast, 3 p.m.
Okay.
So, Will, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Just did.
What's a better chance? Bronny being a lottery pick, or y'all scoring 3 goals tonight?
Oh, I mean, come on, I'm scoring 3 goals. I thought you were gonna ask me a serious question.
All right. No doubt. Matt W said, I see Bulls Lonzo Ball in Bronny. Lonzo, Bronny?
I don't see that, but that's just me. Maybe I'm just still too high on Lonzo.
I see DeAnthony Melton, man. Both went to USC, both strong defenders, capable shooters, connected passes. I think they should be showing him DeAnthony Melton film. That's what he should be trying to be.
Zero just vibing said, did he just say cardiac arrest isn't an excuse?
With a straight face, he said that.
This
With
one
a
is
straight face.
I mean, come on. But all right, hold on, wait, real quick. Okay, wait, but if Bronny was going crazy, would anybody be talking about cardiac arrest?
But he didn't. He had cardiac arrest, and he literally had a change in his game. He had a setback.
That's like a player. Okay, go ahead.
That's like a player. That's like a player tearing his ACL, player tearing his Achilles, a player having a catastrophic injury and having a setback in college. It is a setback. It's not an excuse. It is genuinely a setback. I don't know. Again, I ask, what did he do to you?
No, but I'm saying that's like if Luka didn't play that well last night. That's like if Luka come out and say, "Oh, like he was hurt." Like that's not an excuse because if you was playing healthy,
Will, what are we doing right now, Will?
It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. If you're on the court, I could criticize you just like I would criticize everybody else.
Sure.
That's my thing. Like, because if you're playing well, nobody's talking about it. It's only brought up because he did not look that good. That's it. And I'm not saying that, okay, fine. If you do want to use that as like an excuse, then fine. But I'm saying to me, I don't validate it.
You understand, Will, that he could have died? Like, this isn't him rolling his ankle and missing the season. He could have died. That changes your mindset as an athlete. That now I am mortal. Definitely changes his mindset. He could have died.
No, I understand
the
what
fact
you're
that
saying.
He actually came back and played this season.
But he's still out there. Okay.
You on the court, man. What do we? Hey, man. Hey, I feel it.
I would have loved to see your reaction to when Willis Reed was dragging his leg up and down the court in the finals. You'd have been like, "Oh, it's not an excuse, man. He out there. He should just be playing like
you on the court, man."
Coach, take him out.
Okay, interesting.
Cultured Saunders said, Kid Dale cooking right now. Not gonna lie.
Facts.
Shout out Baby Dale coming on and getting some mean takes off. Clad Diamond also just sent through a super chat. He said Tatum is over Luka. And OKC in 4, these Mavs fanboys really thought Luka would do something. Laughing emojis. Maybe play some defense. Oh, wait.
Let's chill out with the 4, but They looked pretty good last night. They damn sure looked pretty good.
When OKC gonna start getting their respect? I heard Shannon Sharp call them the worst one seed ever. I heard
he was definitely wrong for that. No, he was definitely wrong for that.
People who ain't watch OKC trying to tell me this team ain't that good.
Yeah, he was definitely wrong. He shouldn't instead of I think he said they were the worst. The youngest it should have been. That's the that's the word that should have been used instead of
Shout out Isaiah Joe. Shout out all these other guys, who I mentioned this summer to be, capable role players.
Don't start it, Don't start it,
and I was told, who are these? Are these guys really supposed to do? Who's Isaiah Joe? They got shooters. Isaiah Joe, a shooter. Isaiah Joe, hey man, crazy. Now look. Aaron Wiggins. Hey, shout out Aaron Wiggins, another young guy. Doing good work, man. Shout out my Thunder, man.
For those of you that don't know,
Damo, you got it.
The Thunder stomped on the Dallas Mavericks last night, 117-95. Yesterday we did some breakdowns and we talked about how we thought the series would go. Well, it didn't really go how a lot of people thought it would go. Kyrie had 20 points. Luka had 19 and struggled. On the other end, SGA came with his 29. Chet Holmgren was bullying, not getting bullied, was bullying. He had 19, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. J-Dub, 18 points. And then there was a few players on the bench that got busy too. Damo just mentioned Aaron Wiggins. He got busy. The other Jalen Williams, he got busy. And the Thunder just really outmatched the Mavs. So, I need you guys to talk to me. What happened?
The 1 seed beat the 5 seed at home. That's what happens. I don't know what to tell you. We had to oh my God, it's a shock. The team with home court advantage. Yes,
they beat them.
You can emphasize the word, but
Mars, the Mavericks stole something. They stole something.
Emphasize how you want to emphasize, but the better team won the game. They played better. Jason Kidd started surprisingly with Luka on Giddy. Then second half came around. He went to the notorious tactic of put our big man on Giddy.
Ugh.
And then what did Mark Dagenot do, which I said he's going to do? He goes to his bench when he feels like he needs to instantly. It's not a rigid rotation. He saw how they were defending Josh Giddey. He's like, okay, this isn't a game for Josh Giddey right now. Josh Giddey doesn't really have it going. What he's bringing us isn't as valuable as what Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins can bring us. And then guess what happened? They had floor spaces everywhere. Daniel Gafford is now having to try to track everyone around the court. He's still making rotations around the rim, but OKC are getting every shot they want. And like I said, Chet Holmgren is a problem. He's a matchup problem. They don't have anything for Chet. Shout out to Wemby, unanimous rookie of the year, deserved. Chet Holmgren is one of the best rookies we've seen in the last 10 years. He just didn't win rookie of the year. He is a special player. I said it before he got drafted. Domo's been high on the Chet Holmgren train too. I know a lot of people have had questions about his weight. But Chet Holmgren, what he can bring to a team defensively, offensively, you can't find that from many players in the league. And he's only 21. And he didn't get bullied. The rebounding, another thing I said on Open Gym, wasn't a problem. They were fine on the glass. Dallas aren't a very good rebounding team who can exploit the flaws that people believe OKC have. Now, can Dallas come back in the series and make it competitive? Yes. One game, I'm not going to overreact and say sweep or whatever the case. But OKC are the better team. I want you guys to know from top to bottom, from coach all the way down to the 9th man in their rotation, OKC are the better team. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Dante Exum and Josh Green, they don't match up to what OKC have coming off the bench from a talent standpoint, from a personnel standpoint, from a fit standpoint. It just doesn't match up. And Shea, they can't stay in front of him. Who would have thought? They can't stay in front of him. His little tween push dribble go, he just goes tween hezzy and he's out. They can't stay in front of him at all. They can't. And J-Dub didn't even play poorly for 3 quarters. 4th quarter comes around, best player I've ever seen.
Mars, his name is J Him.
No, now you pushing J-Dub. So you left Halliburton for J-Dub.
Watching.
We can praise 2 people at once.
Watching Dallas, I felt like Gafford did a really good job around the rim. I felt like he did a good job finishing. I felt like he did a good job protecting the rim. Same thing with Derrick Jones Jr. I feel like he did as good a job as he could. I felt like he did as good a job as he could trying to stay in front of SGA. I felt like he did as good a job as he could. However, I feel like Luka slows them down. I do. I'm watching Luka with the ball. whether it's on offense or defense. I feel like he slows them down. He looks lethargic. He looks slow. I feel like he's killing them on defense. Everything that they get, which Mark Dagnall, it's obvious that he's going this way because Ox already said it. It's almost like he was in Ox's head. Go after Luka. Whatever matchup Luka, whoever is matched up on Luka, go after him and do not let him off the hook. And when Luka gets the ball, whether it's off the glass, whether it's in the outlet, I feel like he's slowing them down because those guys want to get out and run. Gafford wants to get out and run. Derek Jones wants to get out and run. And Luka doesn't really see he's not able to speed the game up. And the fact that he's not able to speed the game up, that screws up their transition game. So I think Dagnall did a damn good job at spreading them out in the first half and in the second half, making Daniel Gafford chase at the long ball line, making PJ Washington chase at the long ball line. But they weren't just standing around though. Like with Ty Lue's five out. They actually had action, not just on the long ball line. They had action off the ball. And that really screwed up Dallas's defense. And whenever SGA got switched on to Luka, he went after him. So I'm not going to flip out after one game because I think that Jason Kidd can make some adjustments. One of the adjustments that he can make is he's got to put more zone, and that zone's got to be a little bit wider. I think he can do that, and I think that he can get his guys on the glass a little bit more. The problem is Luka making them slow. And I think that if Luka can speed them up a little bit more, I think that could help them.
I mean, he is compromised. Like, he's clearly not 100%. But as Will said, I guess if you're out there, it's not an excuse. But right. I do think it's an explanation as to why Luka doesn't look like regular season Luka. I think you can clearly see he's not right. But his defense already wasn't great to begin with. And I said in a series like this where OKC aren't a stationary offense, they're not a stagnant offense, you can't just put Luka on a non-threat offensively and expect him to be fine. That's not how OKC run. If it was a team that just like runs five out and they just spray to the corners, yeah, maybe you can hide Luka. But with how active they are on the weak side, how often people cut, I saw him get back cut a couple of times, just ball watching, like those things, you can't protect against that for OKC because OKC are gonna do those things routinely anyway. And then obviously, you know, they mismatch on every time down the floor, whether it's for Shea, Chet, J-Dub, they're gonna hunt those matchups. So if Luka can't go, I can understand. Like if Luka's not 100% healthy, I can see it, I understand. But while he's out there, OKC aren't gonna care about that. They are going to attack him. The same way the Wolves don't care about KCP being compromised and Jamal Murray being compromised. It's in their best interest to attack him. And that's what they're doing. They're attacking him. And it's working. Well, it worked in game one.
I never said that.
What was Splash GXD Super Chat? He said, I'm with Ox. Luka is probably the biggest bum in the league. Watching him play should be an execution option for the death penalty.
He a Kyrie fan. He mad that Luka's selling.
Just want to be clear that those words never came out of my mouth. But there's nothing you could do as far as like Luka on defense for the Mavs. There's nothing that can be done to help that. But on the offensive end, since it's not really, I mean, he's hampered from the injury. Is there something else they can do on offense? Maybe could Luka be like a catcher? Well, his shot's not falling. I don't know. Is there something they could do for Luka on the offensive end to help him out?
You could probably post him more. Just so he doesn't have to dribble as much, you could probably post him more because Ludor does like a couple of times he did go down there. He's just too big for Ludor. Like he's strong and he can see over the top. You post him more, maybe you can draw doubles and stuff. And I think out of pick and roll when they did put two on the ball, I think Luka made most of the right reads. There was one time where he tried to hit, I think Gafford and Aaron Wiggins stole it. But like for the most part, I think he makes the right reads out of pick and roll. But just you got him trying to score from the perimeter consistently. I just don't think he already wasn't quick, but he at least like his little deceleration could get you off balance and stuff. Right now, there's very little of that change of pace that he had. It might be slow to slower, but now it's just all slow. Like he's just lacking that in that department. So I think probably posting him would probably be the answer. But with Gafford and Lively around the rim, how much can you do that? I don't know. Jason Kidd already went away from his bigs in the fourth quarter for whatever reason he wanted to. So I like
that though. I like Luka. I like Luka on the box if we got somebody that's going to knock down that three ball on the weak side. So if we got a shooter on the weak side, I like Luka on the box just because of his passing ability, his size, being able to see. that might be a hell of an offense. You know what I mean?
Here's the problem.
Hey,
though.
Morris, I'm gonna have to put you on the coaching staff.
Wait a minute though. Wait a minute though. Because I can appreciate your logic, but what I'm asking you is, with Luka on the box, now you're compromised with your transition defense. So whenever he scores, Oklahoma City's going to get back, and they're going to get back fast, which means Luka's got to get back fast. Now, with him having the basketball in transition, Luka having the ball in transition, he could advance the ball, but none of those guys, with the exception of Irv, none of those guys are as good with the ball in transition as Luka is. So when he gets the ball to Derrick Jones Jr. in transition, well, Derrick Jones Jr. isn't as good creating his own shot. He's actually looking for Luka to create a shot for him. Same thing with Tim Hardaway. That's why P.J. Washington stands in the corner and does what he does. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there, but I can appreciate your logic with having Luka on the box. But the difference is that these guys got to get back, and they got to cover Luka's backside, because once that shot goes up, that Oklahoma City team is gone. And Luka's already behind the play, and he's not going to put his head down, and he's not going to sprint back. He's not going to.
He's an L on defense anyway, chill. He's not doing nothing. So it's like, it don't matter if you get back, Luka. You might as well not be here.
So it's 5-on-4.
you might as well just stay down here. For real. They should just run that just straight. I'm talking about do something unprecedented, something we've never seen in the NBA before. Luka, don't even cross half court. You ain't playing no defense. We play 5-on-4 and you stay down here. We cherry picking. Might as well.
What?
Hey, but
might as well. He's not doing nothing, chill.
So now what we're gonna do in Dallas is we're just gonna outscore these dudes. We're not gonna stop playing. We're not gonna try to defend or anything like that. We're just gonna outscore these dudes because it's 5-on-4. They're gonna score every trip.
Chill. We're gonna play we're gonna play a 1-2-1 on,
and we're gonna score, and they're gonna score every trip. You're not gonna score every trip because we got 5-on-4. You see how Luka's been shooting? I think he's shooting 20% on the long ball. You put him on the box.
If Luka stands at the free throw line on this side of the court, they on defense down there, Luka standing at the free. Look, if they down here, chill. If they play ball up here, Luka's on offense on the block, and then when they run back on defense, Luka just stand right here. You just stay right here, and then when we get the rebound, we just stone it up the court. Luka gonna score about 80.
Was it the Kings who tried that before?
I didn't see it, but they need to try. Hey, the Mavs need to try it right now.
I want to say it might have been the Kings. I think it was the Kings or the Nets. Like they tried playing defense 5-on-4, and they would just like throw outlets to the person cherry picking. I'm pretty sure Reggie Evans ended up missing the layup, and it was pointless. But I'm pretty sure
they were to do that. Somebody would stay out back there with Luka, so it technically would be 4-on-4, and then 2 other players down the court. I wouldn't just let Luka just stay down there.
And then what? And then now you get to spread the floor out. You got Kyrie 1-on-1 ISO on a spread floor. Shit.
I don't want to be on Ox coach and stuff. You're gonna say you hate that. He's saying you hate D'Antoni, but his tactic is play 5-on-4.
He's getting fired, Mark. You're getting fired.
D'Antoni.
He's killing all of us. He's getting fired.
Luka's not doing nothing on defense. We might as well play 5-on-4 anyway. That's all I'm saying. If we had 5 guys that play D, I would never think of anything like this. I would never even, I wouldn't disrespect. But it's Luka. He's not gonna do nothing. Just
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put Luka at the free throw line on the other end. So what you're suggesting is that I can't believe I'm actually having this conversation with Ox, but I'm gonna entertain this. What we're doing is we're gonna put Luka at the other end, and he's gonna score. This team in Oklahoma City, when they score, they're just gonna forget that Luka's back there, and they're gonna let them hold the ball right over their head every trip. And Luka from the free throw line, uncontested. Oklahoma City's not going to be able to get back and not going to score. Mars, we cannot buy houses in the city on Ox's coaching staff because we're getting fired. And we're not going to be able to keep our house because we're getting fired.
Yeah,
you got some rental properties we can stay in.
We're getting fired.
No doubt.
Airbnbs, hotels.
We're going to Airbnb something for the first couple months.
We are getting fired.
Just to test the water.
That's an interesting strategy, man.
No, it's not interesting, Mars. It's terrible. We're going to get fired.
It is interesting. I'm pretty sure it was the Kings who tried it before. Now, it didn't work, but I'm pretty sure they tried it. So maybe
also,
that's what
the Sacramento thing.
Yeah, maybe
something in the air.
I see
something in the water.
Let's bring it back.
Something in the bud. Damo.
Man, they need to just. I'm just saying they could try it out, man.
Is your head in the clouds right now?
Actually, I hope it ain't nothing in the bud. I just want straight bud. I lied. I don't want nothing in my bud.
Don't lace that. Don't lace that.
Yeah, I just think about that.
Just put that in that raw paper.
Speaking of which, Damo, you ain't past that.
By the way, since we on that subject, and I bought a half an ounce for you today. I bought a straight.
Oh, I'm about to say thank you. I need it because I smoked everything I had. I done smoked Jimmy, Dane. Man, I'm currently smoking the Nuggets. Oh my god, that one's hitting strong. Not gonna lie to you.
Mile High Pack.
Man, yeah, it'll have you Mile High too.
I'm mad we got to wait till Friday for another game.
Facts.
And
then we can't even talk about that game until Monday. So like, listen, man.
How you doing this? Yo, let's do a Saturday show, right?
Hey, we might have to pull up for a sneaky hour on Saturday just to, we just to get down to the bottom of that. Cause it's a lot going on.
By the time the Monday episode comes around, the Nuggets might be out. Like we
Hey, Mars, they might be gone.
We really not gonna be able to talk about game 3 or
they play on Sunday.
They might be out the
yeah, they play on Sunday. So by the time, they might be out.
Hey, Monday show, man.
I'm gonna hit y'all in the chat, but we might have to petition for an early Saturday episode, just an hour.
Well, I mean,
hey, chill. Can you give me one?
They can chill with
All I'm asking is one.
They can chill with you. They can do it. They can chill with you on
Oh, that's
Saturday.
true.
They can react to game 3. Yeah.
We got y'all.
They gonna carry the load.
I don't want to jump the gun here because I mean it is the defending champs, but to get smoked, really? Is that what we doing?
Man, they deserve it.
I know.
Let the Wolves go 8-0 in the first 2 rounds.
They deserve it.
I know Damo feel like we die.
What? All that fake ass shooting they was doing on us. Michael Porter want to go 1 for 7 now. Oh my god, I'm enjoying every bit of this series. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Go away.
Oh man.
If we come back on Monday and Denver is swept,
that would be.
I know somebody who shouldn't be here. I know somebody who better not be here on Monday if Denver gets swept.
Somebody who's going to be here. We know that for a fact. Somebody that's going to be here.
Oh, it's mandatory. He's going to be here. Mandatory.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But he's gonna act like it's not a big deal. He'll just come over and talk like, "Oh well, this and that."
They're really good team.
Yeah. Although if the Nuggets come back, that's gonna be interesting too.
I just feel like that Mars. When we talk about Dallas, like you say that OKC is the better team. From that one game, they do look like I feel like the scheme is definitely better. I do feel like that, and I feel like they are overmatched. I feel like the thing mostly that I'm seeing from Dallas is that their main cog, which is Luka, I feel like he's slowing them down, man. I do. I feel like he's slowing them down, and if they can't play fast, they can't keep up with Oklahoma City. They can't keep up that pace with them, and they're not good enough to slow the game down. I think that's the difference.
I think their biggest problem is their defense. Luka is a part of that, but I think that's the Josh Giddey tactic. It doesn't work when they can just run to Aaron Wiggins and Isaiah Joe and Casey Wallace, who can all space the floor. And that's why, you guys have been talking about, OKC need a real big, like a Valanciunas or a Zach Edey. That's the reason they don't want a big. They want guys who can all make decisions and attack from the perimeter and shoot the ball and slip screens and ghost screens and everything. Their whole offense is just a bunch of misdirections. That's really what it is. We won't as possible. It's just a bunch of this action is this is a bluff. This action here is a bluff, but we're gonna occupy you enough so that when we get to our real action on this side, no one can help. And then we got this guy, he's gonna slip out to the wing here, and then you're gonna have to try and recover. You're behind the plate. Now he's driving. Now the strong side corner is gonna have to help. Then we're gonna kick it to him, but now he's driving again. It's just everything is just Dallas can't keep up with the constant activity of OKC's offense. And that's not just because of Luka, that's because of Luka and their bigs out there and everything. And then when they can keep up with them, now the bigs are out of position for rebounds, and that's why OKC aren't getting killed on the glass. I think it's just a bad matchup.
They won the rebounding matchup last night, didn't they?
Matchup, huh?
OKC out-rebounded them last night, didn't they?
I wouldn't be surprised.
They did. They out-rebounded them 52-39.
Can you pull up the verses from yesterday and see how we did?
Oh, I think I was perfect. If I remember correctly, I think I was perfect.
Yeah, hey, shout out to Mars for
you
standing
said
on 10.
OKC for every single one.
No, I said
Shout out
Kyrie
to
over
Mars
J-Dub.
for
I said
standing
Kyrie
on
over
10.
J-Dub.
Yeah, that's the only one. But you said,
And I think I shot 8 for 8.
And Mars, but remember, you wanted to go with J-Dub. But
Yeah, because I'm like,
wanted to go with
I
J-Dub.
respect J-Dub because like J-Dub tough, but
Before I pull this up, though, I do want to say, like, that boy about to be a star.
who, J-Dub?
I'm looking at J-Dub. All right, Damo. I'm looking at J-Dub.
No, don't all right, Damo me, man. I ain't trying to hear that.
Oh, I see where you coming from.
No.
My bad, Damo. My
mic.
bad, Damo.
I muted my mic for 5 minutes. You know what I did? I went back to this summer to that Thunder episode because as soon as Ron called him, oh, he ain't J-Dub, he J him.
oh,
I
when Ron was hating on J-Dub.
Hating hard.
I was hating on
No, don't make your face like that.
Man, 14, 14 from a second-year guy.
Yeah, 14 points.
14 from a
like
rookie.
yeah.
Like, is that Dak? I mean, that's cool.
I said
but
that.
like,
Yes, you did.
like,
100%.
What I
are we
said.
really about to like? Come on, man.
Look at
Now
this
he's
high
take
knee.
him. Now he's a star. Oh my! I was the one that said it. I was the one that sat there and said on camera. This season, J-Dub put on weight. When if he takes this step, I'm expecting him to take. He's gonna look great. That's gonna be the number 2 they need for Chet to be the 3. He's gonna look great. I mean, bro, J-Dub just put up 14 and 5 as a rookie. I mean, that's cool and all, but what are we really expecting? That was you. That was you, sir. That's what you said. This is great. Now
Yeah,
he's
bro.
J him. Oh,
You was wrong. You was wrong about that one, Ryan.
You were right there with me. Okay.
Mr. Isaiah Joe. Nah, nigga, that's the reason you was on your. Who is Isaiah Joe for real? Like that's who we're relying on as a shooter. Isaiah Joe. That's who. I went back and watched that episode just to make sure. I went back. I was like, let me make sure I'm not bugging. I went back and watched and listened. Bro, what is Isaiah Joe really though, Damo? That's what we're relying on for shooters? Isaiah Joe? I mean, goddamn, I guess so.
Bro, I thought OKC was gonna fall to a 6-7 seed by the end of the season.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I had them between 42 and 46 wins. I didn't have them being this good, but man, oh man, the guys I did expect to be good this year have been great. I'm loving it.
Damo, I will give you Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams his flower, J-Dub. J-Dub is different. You can see just by the way he moves. He just got that. Whatever that is, he has it. When that fourth quarter rolled around and all of a sudden that boy started feeling like, you know what? I'm the best player out here. Can't nobody on your team mess with me. Shay, move. I got it. I got this. I got us. When he got to that mode, I'm just like, yeah, we watching something that's about to turn into something special.
On the one hand, we do.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So on the one hand, it's a much younger league, right? So it's a much younger league. So because it's a much younger league, you see a lot of younger players blossoming more. And we look at vets way different today than we look at vets. Like when you're 28, 29, like you're coming into your 27, 20. Like Jordan was 28 when they won their first championship. He was going into his prime. Like we got guys today like 24, 25. We're talking about them being in their prime. With that being said, I feel like this Oklahoma City team, with the young guys that they got, I feel like they're dumb enough to think they can win it. I do. Because they're young as they are. I feel like they're dumb enough to think that they can win it. And not in a bad way. Because they're young as they are. Because they perform in the way that they're performing. They are that. Like when you're young, you think that there's not much you can't do. And they looking at the landscape of the NBA and they're looking at these teams and thinking, we can probably win the NBA championship. Now, it depends on who they run up on. When they see if they see those boys from Minnesota, they see those boys from Boston, they see those vets, I think that's a different story. But the confidence that they have, as young as they are, is obvious. Like they're looking at Dallas like, yo, we're going to smoke these dudes.
Chill. Yesterday you told me that 22-year-old guys can't get it done.
And I still believe
Do you
that.
feel that these 22-year-old guys can get it done?
I don't think they're there yet. I don't. I think that they're gonna run into something that they haven't seen come playoff. Well, we're already in the playoffs, but I feel like that they're gonna run into something that they haven't seen, and it's going to be a bit much for them.
Chill, but
I'll tell you what they're going to run into. They're going to run into another 22-year-old that's on some big dog energy. That's what's going to happen. They're going to run into another.
They're not ready for that. They're not ready for
That
that.
series is going to be a movie.
That
OKC, Minnesota.
Y'all think OKC can play with Minnesota?
I think they can play
it's gonna
with
be a
them.
great series.
I think Minnesota
think
got
the
that
Wolves
defense.
are probably the better team. The Wolves are probably the better team. But that series is going to be.
Mars, we said the same thing about Minnesota and Denver. They look like they're about to mop the floor with these dudes.
That's Denver's fault.
I said no. I said it was going to be a great series. I still think it can be. I still think it can be a great series.
I thought this was going to be a great series. They're about to mop.
But I'm not gonna
the floor
lie,
with these dudes.
the Wolves, they really, really good. But OKC, they really good.
They got a good team, y'all. They do.
Who would have thought? The
Mars.
number 1 seed and number 3 seeds are really good.
How about that, Mars?
Mars.
Imagine that.
Do you think that the Wolves, and I hate to just overlook both of these series, and I was saying in the playback last night, can we just fast forward to the Western Conference Finals, Wolves versus Thunder? But do you really think that the Wolves can lock up the Thunder? Playing the one-on-one style defense that the Wolves play, and the Thunder playing the one-on-one style offense that they play? Or
Damo, I feel the same way, Damo.
can the Wolves lock up the Thunder?
I feel the same way, Damo.
They locked up Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Jamal Murray, Jokic, and you ask me, do I think
What?
can they also lock up Shea?
What?
Probably.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I would feel very safe assuming that this defense will stay consistent to what it's doing. Especially seeing how the guy that just won the 4th Defensive Player of the Year, shout out Rudy Gobert. I'm not going to disrespect you on your day. Shout out Rudy. He wasn't there and they beat them by 50. I'm sorry. This defense is real. Like, this is a real defense. I don't know. I bang with OKC. Trust me. Shea is different. I don't know if Shea is different enough to deal with a 6'9", 6'10" hound on him, because J-Mac is guarding Shea. Like, he's on Shea. He's hounding Shea. And if he's not on him, his cousin's on him. I don't know. I feel like Shea's going to be in the same situation.
This is my only counter to that. We just watch, and it's not the same exact defense, and it's not as good of a defense. But the Pelicans got defenders. They got length. They got dogs over there.
It's not comparable.
No, it's not.
It's
I mean,
not
I'm saying
comparable
we just watched Shea. We just watched Shea pause ahead of time. We just watched Shea give it to Herb Jones. We just watched Shea give it to Trey Murphy.
Okay,
we
stop
just
right there,
watched Shea give it to all of their defenders.
Ron, we talking about Rudy. We talking about Rudy
defended him pretty well.
Gobert down there, though, Ron.
And not only that, Mars, to your point, Ron, if you watch that OKC New Orleans series, they were actively hunting switches to get Herb Jones off of SGA.
And they're going to do that against you.
Yeah, but
You think Shea is going to be like, you know what, Mark Gasol? You know what?
The issue is the Wolves.
We not going to run no mismatches.
The Wolves don't have a CJ McCollum.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Like, and you might say it's Mike
Conley.
Conley. You might say it's Mike Conley. But the Wolves don't give up switches they don't want. Like, the way they're able to contain and pick and roll, like either they'll blitz the ball handler or they'll play in rear view pursuit. They don't give up. If they don't want to switch, they aren't going to switch. Any switch they give, any switch they have, they're comfortable with the switch. They aren't switching just for the sake of switching. They aren't putting Mike Conley on Shea if they don't want to. They aren't putting Mike Conley on Jalen Williams if they don't want to. They aren't putting Rudy Gobert up and pick and roll unless they want to. But let's don't switch unintentionally.
Let's dive further into
on guys too. And I just want to add too. We're watching them keep this level of pressure on a team for 48 minutes in high altitude. So it's not like it's 30 minutes of this high pressure, then it falls off because they're tired. They are keeping this pressure for 48 minutes in Denver. I don't know why they would not keep 48 minutes of pressure in Oklahoma.
Well, let's dive deeper into it though, because and keep in mind, I'm just asking questions. I'm just trying to get down to the bottom of it. I'm picking you guys' brains because I don't know. I don't know, but I am saying, okay, so we start with Shea. Obviously, Shea is their leading man. That's 30 a game, 27 a game throughout these playoffs. But then, how do you then guard? Like you hone in on Shea, right? But then how do you guard when Shea swings the ball out? How do you guard the attacks from the straight line drives from Lou Dort? How do you guard the assault that J Dub's going to give you? How do you guard Chet stretching the floor and all of that?
And
all of that. And then how do you, we just hyped up J-Dub. I think assault is a good word for him.
You know who they're going to be straight line driving into?
Rudy.
That's
Rudy. Is Rudy timeout? Is Rudy not guarding Chet?
He doesn't have to.
Okay, first of all, we understand it's going to be Josh Giddey until Josh Giddey's out of the game. We know that, right?
So Rudy's guarding Josh Giddey.
Until Josh Giddey becomes either unplayable or whatever the case is. Rudy's going to be on Josh Giddey. He's going to be
What's going to happen, Mars?
It's going to be extreme. It's going to be extreme help. That's what it's going to be. And the Wolves might be the best scrambling defense in the NBA. Like the way they're able to recover in front of drives, like it's going to be a problem. Not to mention, if there's one thing Lou Dort can't do, it's make a layup. That's the one thing Lou Dort can't do. Lou Dort is great from three. He's great on defense. He's a solid decision maker. You put him right under that rim, he gonna miss. It's just what it is.
But that's one thing he can't do. But that's what I'm saying about why I said that, Ron. Like the straight line drive thing, these dudes are recovering fast. You're not just getting straight line drives on. I mean, of course, you'll get some in the scramble eventually, but for the most part, though, dudes are recovering and moving their feet. It's not a whole lot of just bad discipline, fly by. It's a lot of close out and move and get with you. I'm not just going by you. It's not no lie. Like when Rudy's contesting, a lot of times he's contesting somebody that had to make a move. You know what I mean?
And it's multiple defensive rotations. Like they have different lineups just in case you do. So Josh Giddey's going to get taken out the game. We can assume that because they don't want to get that abused. Then the Timberwolves will adjust to the adjustment. That's the dangerous thing with this team.
Defensively.
When they will make defensive adjustments to the offensive adjustment you just made for what you just seen. So now you have to adjust again. But for the Thunder, I don't know. And I respect this team. I respect Mark Daigneault. I don't know if the bag is that deep to keep adjusting to what they're going to do. I don't.
Offensively?
I think Mark Daigneault
offensively. I don't know.
It's going to be a coaching chess match in my opinion. Mark Daigneault, Chris Finch, levels. They're elite coaches. I just don't know if there is enough adjustments to be made to what the Wolves can do defensively. Not that Mark Daigneault isn't going to think of them. I just don't know if A, they have the personnel, and B, if the league has the personnel to know how many adjustments. Like, I think Mark Daigneault can figure things out, but there just might not be enough of the players in existence.
He doesn't have the players. Yeah. There's not enough players. He doesn't have the pieces on that team to constantly make the adjustments he's going to need to make consistently in the series with the Timberwolves. That's what I mean. I'm not saying he can't go.
I don't know. They got a lot of shooting.
OKC want to play fast. The Wolves pressure, like, they might not get into their offense until there's like 13, 12 seconds on the clock. Like that just there, like pressuring Shea up the court, pressuring J-Dub up the court. You'll probably have to have Josh Giddey bring the ball up the court because you know Rudy not going to be pressing 94 feet.
Right.
Like that's probably the first counter they're going to do. Then it's going to be Josh Giddey being used as a screener. Like Mark Daigneault's going to experiment with a lot of things. I'm sure of it.
And don't actually.
I just think the Wolves got enough.
But can I just add? I just want to add too because I seen it in the chat and this dude is absolutely right. Let's not act like that OKC defense is not also a legit defense. They are they not the only team in the playoffs to not allow 100 points so far in the playoffs? So this is a good defense. My thing is, I just think this is going to be a series based off of who the better defense end up being. Who's the better defense? I think the better defense is the Timberwolves based off what I've seen. Now, we can say that's because of the matchups they had. And hell, who's to say that the Thunder get matched up with the Suns and the Nuggets? They don't do the same things defensively that the Timberwolves did to them as well.
Given up 100.
Yeah, they haven't. I seen. Yeah. I seen the graphic of it yesterday. They're the only team to not give up 100 points. So that's still in the playoffs. Someone said the Magic did it. That's still in the playoffs.
Yo, chat.
Didn't Cleveland score 100 in Game 7?
Chat.
Damn,
I know I was saying, chat, that the World Series of this playoffs was the Nuggets versus the Wolves. I know I was like, this is going to be the best series that we're going to see, and this, and this, and I want to see this the most. I lied. Okay. The World Series of series in this playoffs is the Wolves and the Thunder.
I still got Dallas in 6. I do. I still got
Dallas in 6. I'm saying if both of these teams happen to make it, because once again, I'm still not going to overlook the defending champions and Jokic and Jamal Murray and them, and I'm definitely not going to overlook Luka and Kyrie. Right. But if these two teams make it, I can't wait for this series.
I think whatever conference finals matchup we get is going to be a movie. Like if we get Denver versus OKC, that's still going to be. That might be the first time Chet does get. Just it might be. But like Denver OKC will be a great series. The Wolves versus Dallas will still be a very good series. Like the West is just like every series is great. Now, personally, I want OKC versus Minnesota. Like personally, that's the series I want to see because that's special. That's a very special.
Denver's.
Oh yeah, I probably think Denver and Dallas are going to lose. I probably think, but I wouldn't be shocked if both of them came back and won the series. I'd be more shocked if Dallas won. Personally, I'd be more shocked if Dallas won. But
really,
yeah.
Wow.
But
I'm curious to see game.
You know how I've spoken about OKC all year. Like I've been saying OKC from like the week 2 of the season. I've been saying OKC are really, really good. So I'm not shocked by this personally. Like I think you guys were overselling the age thing, and when they see things they haven't seen before, I think that's what great coaching is for. Mark Daigneault understands if a team does something, what we need to change, what we need to adjust, and he does it on the fly. It's not like he has to wait 3 days.
Right.
He see, they're doing this. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put you in here now. Now we got more length. We got extra 3-point shooting, and like I said, everyone can make decisions.
Right.
Jalen Williams comes in the game. The big man, Jalen Williams, not Jada, comes in the game. He can pass. He can shoot. He takes charges. He rebounds. Like there's no one who does nothing on the court for OKC at any time. Like Dallas have some guys who like if they aren't making shots, negative. OKC have guys who if they aren't making shots, they're gonna play hard defense. They're gonna take charges. They're gonna make the right reads. They're gonna set good screens. That's why I think they're a really good team. And Mark Daigneault is one of the best coaches. And Chris Finch, we need to do a new coach ranking. That's what I'm gonna say. We need to do a new coach ranking. Because hey,
I'm gonna pull up the old coach ranking. Ox, I know you wanted me to pull up the no. I pulled it up the ranking that we did of players in the first round. Damo, I want you to see this and I want you to critique it. But I'll pull up the coaching rankings here in a second, and then we'll dive into that. Also, though, I don't feel comfortable, and I know he's had a bad playoff so far and he struggled. I don't feel comfortable just writing Luka off like this. Or Kyrie.
It's not. Here's the thing, Ron. You're not writing Luka off. It's just that the crew that he's going up against, what they have is not something that he's seen yet in these playoffs. And to Mars's point, he is compromised. So a lot of what they do, what they've been good at all year, they can't do that. Like speeding up the game. They can't do that. Like him playing on the box and him being a little bit livelier. He can't do that because he is compromised. However, with him being compromised, that compounds how bad he is defensively. That makes him even worse. As bad as he is defensively, the fact that he's compromised, that makes him even worse defensively. It's basically Olay. I'm watching SGA just go right past him. I'm watching anybody who's standing in front of him go right past him, and it's just making it worse.
The Clippers weren't this motion heavy. Like they weren't. I was seeing plays where James Harden's trying to drive, and you've got Mason Plumlee, PJ Tucker, and Russell Westbrook all in the corner. All 3 of them. Like, I'm watching that happen. I'm like, okay, well, there's a reason why Luka's not getting destroyed off-ball defense as much as he would against OKC.
They all chilling over there. They ain't doing
and then I'm watching Paul. I remember saying this a couple months ago. I didn't think Paul George was going to have a good playoffs because he doesn't get to the rim. Like, he just doesn't. I don't, like...
Ron, we got to have that conversation too about Paul George.
Paul George doesn't get to the. I remember saying that a couple months ago that I didn't think Paul George was going to have a great postseason. I'm surprised it was as bad as it was, but he doesn't get to the rim. Like so, Luka in isolation. If you're just going to dribble in front of him, he can stand there and he's got enough strength that he can body you. But if you're actively trying to blow by him, he's going to do his little hip check thing, and then he's just going to do this, and then you're at the rim. That's what he's going to do. That's just how he plays defense. And now he's hurt. It looks worse. So like. I'm watching it happen. OKC is just a bad matchup for Luka. It reminds me of the 2022 Warriors with how much motion they had. Luka struggled defensively in that series too. You got that much action, you can't hide a bad defender anywhere if everything is moving at every time.
And he wasn't hurt neither.
Yeah, you just can't do that, and that's why I think he's going to struggle. That doesn't mean I think it's impossible for them to win. I think offensively, I think there's a couple things, especially out of pick and roll, that I think Dallas liked that maybe they can execute. And if they start making threes, they're going to be hard to stop. If Tim Hardaway and Luka and Kyrie are here, PJ Washington, it's going to be hard to slow them down. I just think OKC are the better team.
Yeah, we've seen Luka carry. We've seen Kyrie beat Kyrie it's just hard for me to write these guys off. I know Luka's a little hobbled. I know it's some things that may not be going their way, but Luka's gonna wake up at some point. At some point, Luka's gonna Luka. And so we'll see if OKC can weather that storm. But we all know that a fight is coming OKC's way.
Maybe.
All right. Okay. Mars, you know this. You know this.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't just be like, oh well, Luka's just gonna start making shots. Like some of it is OKC's defense. Some of it is he's settling for threes, but a lot of it is also Chet deters shots around. Like Chet is hard to score over at the basket. Who would have thought? Chet's a really good. I've seen Domantas Sabonis get a defensive player of the year, but shout in. But Chet is one of the best defenders in the league. Like around the rim, around the basket, he's one of the best defenders in the league. Lou Dort is one of the best wing defenders in the league. J-Dub is 6'5" with a 7'17" wingspan, so he looks like he's 6'9". Shea, great in the lanes. He's got very good hands defensively. And one thing I like about Shea, because of his size, he's able to alter shots around the basket. He's a guard who's able to provide rim protection. Like they have a lot of things on defense that make it difficult to score around the basket if you're Dallas. You take away that, you're gonna have Dallas shooting threes, and they are a streaky team. And sometimes they're off, sometimes they're on. If they're on, I think they can probably win those games. That's why I think it's hard to sweep a team like Dallas, because there's probably going to be a game where they go crazy from three. But over a 7-game series, OKC got a good formula.
All right. Damo, I'm throwing this on the screen right now. I want to hear how you feel about this. Keep in mind, this is only first round. So we rank the players based on how well they played in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what it was.
Awful list. Crazy. Jokic too high, Embiid too high. Why is Embiid above AD? Insane. Why is Jaylen Brunson not at least second? Insane. How is Ant not first? Insane.
Let's explain it. So Jokic, I think you can guess why I put Jokic there. Embiid, 100% me. I can give you the rationale. For Embiid. Yeah, I'll give you the rationale for Embiid. The team fell apart when he wasn't on the floor. Just fell apart. They won the series when Embiid played. They lost the series when he didn't. That's reason number one. Reason number two, my next pick wasn't until pick 8. And I thought 8 for Embiid would be too low. So my rationale was, if I don't pick him, no one else is going to pick him. So I thought I'd rather have him at 4 than have him at 8. So I put him at 4. Do I think he played better than Anthony Davis? Probably not. But I wouldn't be mad at it. Personally, I think 4 is fine. I think 4 to 6 is fine for Embiid. But I will tell you, if I had the 5th pick, I would have put Embiid there. If I had the 6th pick, I would have put him there. I just fell at 4, and I was like, 4 is better than 8. So that's why I believe. But Jokic was swiper, and I think Jokic played better in round 1 than I think you're giving him credit for.
So other than that, so Embiid's too high, Jokic is too high. You would have Anthony Edwards at 1, Jaylen Brunson at 2. How else would that list go from there?
Probably will move Donovan Mitchell up above AD as well. I'm not AD, Embiid as well.
So you would have AD at 3.
Yes, Mars.
Yes, Donovan Mitchell play better than Embiid. In my opinion, yeah.
I told
that dirty player, man. Listen, okay. I heard enough. Okay. He out here grabbing kneecaps, man. Despicable.
Okay. My fault.
Yeah. So yes, I'm putting Donovan Mitchell above him. Donovan Mitchell's probably 3rd or 4th. AD's top 5. I'm not gonna put AD 3rd, but I'll put AD top 5.
Okay.
Where would you put Jason Tatum?
Where would I put Tatum?
Damo, I'm gonna just throw some names out there for you, and you let me know if Tatum played better than these players in the playoffs. Okay.
Let me hear it.
SGA.
No. Am I supposed to say something when I hear a name he's better than?
Just keep saying no, yes. Like
Got you. So no.
Kyrie Irving.
No.
Tyrese Maxey.
No.
Pascal Siakam.
No. No, before you even say it. No, I'm joking. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Luka.
Oh, yeah, I was right. No. Nah, actually, Luka's having a. I'm not gonna lie. Luka's having a bad playoffs, man.
Yes,
He's having a bad playoff. This is his first actual bad playoff performance in terms of entirety of the playoffs so far. So I will say Tatum over Luka in this playoffs.
Okay, I got a couple more though.
6-7 games. His worst 6-7 games by far in his career in the playoffs.
Okay.
Chris Middleton.
No. Shout out Chris Middleton. Respect Middleton.
W Batman. Go ahead and say
All right.
Dame, man. Go ahead and say Dame.
Damian Lillard.
Yes.
Mm.
Not gonna get me there. Yeah, not get me
All
there.
right, and I got two more because this is where things got kind of gutted yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Porter Jr. And this is in the first round. Keep in mind, this is strictly first round.
So just the Lakers series. I know you just got flashbacks, but just the Lakers series.
Pass that, Damo. Before you say that, just pass it.
No, man. No.
Interesting.
All right, and the next name, last but certainly not least, it was Michael Porter Jr. And then who was the other player we were debating?
Derek White.
The dude on his
Has
crew.
he played better than Derek White?
No. Derek White is the best player on that team.
Interesting.
Well, there you have it. It sounds like JT might not even be top 20. I don't know.
I mean, I think we can acknowledge he hasn't played great in the postseason.
He has not. No, he has.
And the rebounds are not moving me. No, I think we can acknowledge that.
Damo, you don't got no love for what Jaylen Brown's been doing?
Why would I? Why would I?
All right, fellas. I got a couple super chats, and I'll go ahead and put this coaches list up. Quabe sent through a super chat and said, get Russell Westbrook off the panel.
Was that Will?
Russ was up here?
I guess. Shout out to Will.
Shout out to Mr. Triple Double. Liban Ahmed said, just woke up, but need to get it off my chest. Yo, OG, Jason Tatum is a role player. He been getting backpacked by Jaylen Brown and D White. JT is 3 and D.
Okay.
All right.
They all role players, by the way. They last one of them. Jordan was a role player. So we all clear.
Yeah, everyone plays a role. Everyone plays a role.
Everybody does play a role.
They're all role players. They last one of them. So
Dorian Clayton said, Will, horrible take on someone's health not affecting his play, even more, especially something of that level. But screw it. I guess if you on the floor, you're supposed to play like nothing is wrong.
Now don't get me wrong. I'm assuming when you out here and you're on the floor, you ready to rock and roll. There are different circumstances though, like a dude passing out from a heart issue. I'd like to think that that's a little bit different than a guy with a rolled ankle or a sprained wrist. I'd like to think that might be a little bit different than a guy who, just came off an MCL or what is that meniscus surgery. I'd like to think that's a little bit different, just a little bit.
Pimp named Slickback said Brian Windhorst said that the NBA is using these playoffs as a preview. He said they're planning on shifting the game back towards more physical and athletical.
Or ethical.
More physical and athletical hoops. A much needed change.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that benefits a team like the Wolves. Like, I think 4 months ago, if these playoffs were being played under January rules, the Wolves would be called for like 17,000 fouls a game. But now it's just elite defense. So
I'm flabbergasted, Mars, that I have yet before Monday, I had yet to see Denver completely taken out of their game the way that they were taken out of their game Monday. I had never seen them. I'm including this season. I'm including last year when they were on the road to the NBA championship. I had never seen them completely taken out of their game and nothing that they were doing was working. You got Jamal Murray throwing heat pads on the floor.
And only getting a 100K fine.
Facts. That man, not enough people talk about that, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, suspend that clown, bro. Imagine if Draymond is out here throwing stuff at refs. Oh my God, y'all want to get arrested. Nah, man, that dude's a clown. All Denver's a clown. These last 2 games, the coach done ran up on a black man across the court, just got in his face. Who knows what he said out there in Denver? Got in his face, berated him with insults. Nothing happens. You got these Canadians throwing stuff at black people, and nothing happening but $100,000 fine. This is crazy. This is what happens when y'all start losing. Y'all start throwing tantrums. But when AD was mad, he was childish, though, right? These guys are being childish on the court. The series ain't even over, and y'all already throwing hissy fits. This is crazy.
Damo,
That was insane.
Just so you know, Mike Malone said, quote, that was up in foul in his face. And then he said, again, that was up, call up in charge. And then he said,
if this was baseball, you know what you would have seen?
Goodbye. Bye. There goes the door. There goes the door. Absolutely. There's the door.
I finally saw that video yesterday. That was incredible. That was crazy that they didn't kick him out and suspend him. Yeah. If you look at how close that heat pad was that Reggie or was that KCP? That was really close to his foot. He could have slipped on that.
Yeah. How about the dude with the ball? Forget those other two dudes. How about the dude with the ball, Ox? Who shot the ball?
It was pretty like that's crazy. If somebody slips on that and gets hurt, imagine that. On top of that, it was actually kind of close to Jokic too. Imagine if Jamal Murray's the guy to tear Jokic's ACL or have him tear his groin or something like that. Man, that was crazy.
Imagine if that was Josh. Imagine if that was Jaylen Green that did that. People they'd have pulled up the videos. They'd have pulled up the videos and how he dressed. Crazy.
Imagine that was Draymond Green.
Other videos.
Draymond Green getting kicked out the NBA.
Here's the difference, though, Mars. The Draymond issue is a little bit different because Draymond has a rap sheet, and his rap sheet is pretty lengthy. So we're not gonna say Jamal Murray and Draymond Green in the same category because
attempted murder.
He got a felony. Draymond Green got a felony list. Okay, let's start right there. This is my first charge. Right,
it's a major charge.
This is my first charge, no doubt about it. I've never been charged with anything before. Meanwhile, Draymond got a felony list. So if he do something like this, not only is he getting the gate, he might be suspended for the rest of the game.
We know that's one of the most harmful things. Like besides Draymond, because Draymond does some interesting things. But besides him, Jamal Murray throwing something on the court might be one of the craziest things any player's done this season.
I've never seen that before.
This season, yes, but let's not forget Steph threw a mouthpiece in the ref's direction. He got kicked out.
He was told.
And he ain't had no ref sheet. He ain't no felon.
Yes,
he's squeaky clean. He got thrown out. And people condemned him for it. Crazy. Oh man, Steph, that was and that's what everybody was saying. Yo, Steph, that's wild. That's unprofessional. You can't be having this. I think Steph got fined as well and thrown out the game. But hey,
and that was in the finals, by the way. That was in the finals too. Yeah. I was in the finals that he did that. To your point,
I mean that's nasty though. Like that's a mouthpiece. Like you do that. That's nasty. You can get some spit on people, but I mean Jamal should be suspended. I don't care. No.
If this was December, does he have to give up a game check?
Absolutely,
at least one.
That's what I'm saying. Today is December the 12th, Ox, and we're in the season. And Jamal Murray does that. Does he have to give up?
You're not playing to the game after Christmas. If I'm the commissioner, because that's some
game after Christmas.
Oh,
that's 8 games. That's crazy.
Yo, that could end somebody's career, bro. He threw a heating pad on a hardwood floor. You know how bad you could slip. You split. Tyrese did the splits and almost he tore his groin earlier, or almost tore it.
He poured it.
Bro, you could tear somebody's whole groin.
Steph Curry slipped on a wet foot in the playoffs and ended up like he was hurt. The rest of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like you slipping on the court because of something someone threw. If a fan threw that on the court,
he's banned from the stadium. He's kicked out
for life.
Arrested
for life.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bro, he might be banned from every NBA game forever. You might never be able to go to an NBA game.
Not too long ago, a fan threw a piece of chicken on the court, and we still ain't heard from that fan.
Ox, that was you.
Yeah, you know, Ox keep it in his pocket for sure. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I'll keep it on me. You know.
Meanwhile, Jamal Murray throwing heating pads. He actually didn't throw it. He didn't mean to throw it on the court. He meant to throw it at the ref.
At the ref,
yeah. He meant to throw it at the ref. That's what he meant to throw it at.
He said, "Call the fucking foul through it."
Yes. Yes.
Man.
Yo, you gotta get the gate for that. No.
And he threw it from behind somebody too. He's
now,
standing behind a 7-footer and threw it. That makes it even worse.
Now, if I'm being objective, Damo, this is the playoffs, and it's pretty difficult to get thrown out of a playoff game. I watched Olajuwon in '86 get thrown out of the Western Conference Championship in the first quarter for fighting. I watched Rasheed Wallace get thrown out in 2002. They already had an agenda. He got thrown out in the first quarter, right? He got thrown out. He got thrown out in the first quarter of a playoff game. So it's pretty difficult to get thrown out of a playoff game. You don't have. It's not like you're doing something that's just getting attacked. You got to be wild as hell to get thrown out of a playoff game. With that being said, what Jamal Murray did, he should have got the gate, yo.
What if that would have hit the ref though? Like it's like that hit him in the back, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What happens? You have to kick him out, right?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, we got to find out where it came from.
If you make contact with the ref, you're supposed to kick him out, right?
So because his accuracy was bad, he got saved.
Yeah.
I don't even say his accuracy was bad. I mean, it was bad accuracy, but I'm not gonna lie. I know he threw something. I know he threw two different things. He threw something, and like the towel boy kicked it away like hella quick before the ref could even like step on it. Because the ref was stepping backwards to step on it. I think that was a towel, so it wasn't a heating pad. But hey, he almost did hit a ref with something.
No, he threw a towel and then threw the heating pad.
Damn, Jamal.
No, I just know one of them got I just know one of them got kicked away by the towel.
Yeah,
boy,
I think he threw the towel first and then threw the heating pad second, and the heating pad was what ended up on the.
You know what that?
Now let's go full blown with the hypothetical. Let's say that this heating pad does hit the ref, and let's say the ref is like, yo, your coach already screamed in my face. Now you hit me with this heating pad, and let's say the ref turns around and just gets on it, just turn around, just starts,
but just dives on him.
Just dive on him, dude. He might know he might kick him, he might punch on him. You never know. I'm just saying, let's just say the ref gets the whooping Jamal ass.
We might have a riot in the arena. We'd have a riot in the arena, Oz.
I mean, is that though? Like throwing something and that's
you hit me with a hitting pad.
We'd have a riot.
You hit me with a hitting pad. I turn around, I slap the shit out you. Yeah. Then what happens?
Okay, so first of all, it's not assault because assault is threatening to do something. That's actually battery because he actually did it. Mm-hmm. All right, that's number one. Number two, Ox, to your point, for him to hit him, first of all, I'm in the process of reffing because that's the lead official on the baseline. I'm in the process of reffing. Them heating pads are not light. Right. Those heating pads are heavy. And it's hot, too. This came out hot water. So for me to hit me in the back, okay, where'd that come from? Meanwhile, I'm missing the action. So we got to stop the action. Okay, where'd that come from? Now we got to go to the monitor and see where that came from. I just got Mike Malone screaming in my face. Jamal Murray just hits me with a heating pad. Bye. Get out. There's the door.
Jamal could have caused another malice in the palace is all I'm saying.
He should have definitely been suspended. The fact
there's the door.
Very intriguing.
And on top of that, Ron, it's a testament to Minnesota's defense because you had my man flip out. You straight had my man flip out. This is the start point guard on the defending NBA champs. You had this dude throwing towels and heating pads on the floor at the refs. That's a testament to Minnesota's defense.
That's crazy. I ain't never seen someone do that before.
I've never seen Jamal act like that before. He's out of body right now. Well, he has done some wild stuff. I ain't gonna lie. He is a wild dude, but
you ain't see him, Damo? He was he was out there crying to his pops. His pops was in the stands. He was out there. He didn't know what to do. He like, Dad,
Ox, when we doing that, Ox, when you talking to pops in the stands, what does that mean?
That means you getting roughed up. That means you getting lumped up out there. You don't know what to do. You like, yo, Dad, save me. You like,
hey, in light of that last super chat with the refs, with him saying the refs are experimenting in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I mean, personally, I like the physical style of play. I like the old game a little more and all of that stuff. But I just find it weird that they would experiment in the playoffs, though. Don't you think this would be something that they would do like in November and December?
Well, they did it after the All-Star break. That's when it changed. Like mid-season is weird to me. I don't know why they just hit a switch and changed it. I think it's because remember, like when the media was going crazy about how there's no defense and Luka scored 73 and Embiid scored 70 and Cat scored. They just went on the little rampage of the league's terrible. No one's guarding anyone. Like after that, then the All-Star break happens, and then post All-Star break, everything just changed, and now all of a sudden fouls don't exist. Although the Dallas OKC game had quite a few. So
quite a few chippy, quite a few
so
questions.
Like, it's inconsistent. If I'm in my opinion, it's still very inconsistent. Like the Wolves series is being officiated differently to how this Dallas series looks, very differently.
I think it's ref dependent because I ain't gonna lie to you. because we pointed it out watching the game watching the Thunder game. A lot of those calls, man. Tony Brothers was, hey man, he was calling some questionable shit. Like literally when he would call it, they would call his name out like through the commentary, like Tony Brothers with that call, and it was always some questionable ones. So certain refs, I've learned if you know a ref's name, he's bad with calls. If I know you as a ref, hey man, you're bad at your job. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, y'all. I want to encourage everybody to like the video and subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. We will be on Playback tonight, playback.tv. We'll be watching the Knicks and the Pacers. It will be J-Rob. And like I said, I'll pull up depending on how Tyrese Halliburton's looking in the first quarter. But you guys make sure you pull up. Join the stream early. It's going to be a good-ass game. It's going to be game 2 in the Garden. I got to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts and predictions on this game tonight?
I just like I like the Knicks style of play in this series, and I think that I think Indiana's gonna try to make Halliburton more aggressive offensively as a scorer, but I don't think that it's gonna work off the strength that he's gonna still have to guard. I mean, the Knicks held them. I think Indiana averages over 123 a game, and the Knicks held them to under 120. And I don't know. I don't know if this 40 a game, 35 a game from Brunson is sustainable, but I do think that he can get 30. I do think he can get that. But with that being said, I think Halliburton is the difference in this, and I think they're going to try to make him more aggressive as a scorer. But I don't think that that's going to work.
I mean, I kind of agree with Showtime, but just different outcome. I think they are going to try to make Hallie more aggressive. And I think they win this game because they're not going to get hoed. They're not going to get cheated like they did game 1. That was the big thing. It's one thing if it's one play. If it's one play in the clutch time, I get it. Don't put yourself in that situation to get holed over and win the game. Got you. 3 in clutch time. 3 bad calls against you in New York.
No. Chill. It was 3.
And just like I told Ron Damo, you need to have some integrity, bro.
Okay.
I can't believe
No.
The two of y'all need to have more.
I don't understand how the Knicks won the Jaylen Brunson challenge. I don't understand how
that was a good block, Moss. That was a good block. That was a good block.
That looked like a foul to me.
It looked like a foul. It looked like a foul, but I gave it to him. I was like, "Hey man, it's a good. We're in the playoffs. It's playoff basketball. I'm not mad at that." Hey man, it was a good block.
On top of that, I want to say I'm not mad at Miles Turner for that happening either. He was going up. He didn't know. I mean, he was turning. He turned into
right.
Literally didn't even see it happening. That was a terrible charge call. Not charge. Terrible offensive foul for the screen. Terrible calls calling the kickball when it clearly hit Neesmith's hand. Like the foot that it would have had to hit was clearly behind
the kickball was
him.
crazy. The
kickball was crazy. And then the third one, actually, I think that one was a challenge. It was only one. It was only two.
No, Damo, it was a third. Remember, they challenged something else too, but then they got it overturned.
They won that. But
they won it, but it was still a bad call though that they had to challenge.
I'm just talking about stuff that didn't get challenged that cost them the ball.
When
cost them the ball in clutch time.
Brunson was handling the ball, and what's the kid Nemhard? He kicked the ball out of bounds, and they ended up giving the ball to Indiana, and they challenged it. That was the one.
That was a bad call.
The kickball was crazy. I think it was an illegal screen.
Now to your point, Damo, you're talking about the Turner screen that was an offensive foul. It was actually the right call. Here's the difference. The very play before that with DiVincenzo, same thing, and you didn't call it. That's why it was a problem. It wasn't the fact that Turner's call was a bad call. No, you got that call right. It's just that the one before that, when DiVincenzo hits Turner, clearly hits him while he's moving, and you didn't call that. That's where it got screwed up.
Mm-hmm. But I do think that, the game was super close game, despite all the crazy calls, super winnable for the Pacers. The pace that they play at, I promise you, these guys, this Tibb game plan of playing guys 48, 49, 52 minutes, with the pace that the Pacers play, it is gonna at some point it's gonna get it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get nasty at some point. I seen a tweet during game 1. It was during a timeout, and this was nearing clutch time. I I'm not 100% sure how legitimate it was because I didn't see the actual video with it. But during the timeout break, someone from the game tweeted out, yo, Tim's got to do something. Josh Hart damn near passed out because he's exhausted. Like, he's exhausted. I'm at the game. He's damn near passed out in the huddle. He is, like, out on the side catching his breath. And when they came back, Josh was really like, I seen him hit one of them. I'm like, oh, damn, did he really almost pass out? Like, he was getting himself together. They have to trust their bench if the Pacers are going to play at this pace because they play fast as hell.
They do.
Yeah,
I think the Pacers can compete, in my opinion. The Pacers
we're gonna run them out the series. I guess that's the game plan. Also, too, did you guys know that? Well, Pimp named Slickback just sent through a super chat, and he said Mitchell Robinson is out 8 weeks. How concerned are y'all about the Knicks' minutes over the series? Because I'm seeing Hart average 48 minutes a game against the Pacers' pace. I'm worried.
But Precious Achiuwa gonna get some minutes. Miles McBride gonna get some minutes. Who else did they bring off the bench?
That's it, Mars.
I'm gonna say that's it.
It's usually 8 man with Mitch Robinson.
I'm gonna say Mitch is the third guy off the bench.
And Boggs usually comes in, but he's not.
Yeah,
he's
hurt. So maybe we go into
Alec Burks. I'm gonna say maybe Alec Burks is getting minutes down. Maybe that's the guy. And I mean, I'm not super mad at it.
No Mitch, no Bogey. They still beat the Pacers.
Yeah, man.
Like no Bojan, no Bojan, no Mitch. They still beat the Pacers. The problem is they can't beat the Celtics without Bojan.
Sims got to get run too now because Sims is
they do got Alec Burks too though. Alec Burks.
Alec Burks is probably who I'd expect. I don't know if you can really play Jericho Sims, but
Achiuwa gives good minutes against the Pacers.
Achiuwa cool. He can match Isaiah Jackson, who gave really good minutes in game one. I guess.
Sure. I just found it a hard game plan to match a team. At one point of the game, the Pacers had 46 points, or 43 or 46 points off the bench. The Knicks had 3. Eventually, I feel like this is going to be a problem. Maybe it wasn't a problem game one, which super close game one, by the way. Going forward with the Pacers playing at this pace, getting quality minutes off the bench consistently. Miles Turner, chill. You might owe him an apology because Miles Turner, he been balling in the playoffs. He's been balling this playoffs. He ain't been perfect, but he been damn near close to it for the Pacers as a center. He's been doing everything he needed to do for the most part. He's been balling. I don't know how sustainable it is for the Knicks to keep it up, especially when they're just relying on Jalen Brunson to put up 30 shots, 34 shots to be the majority of their offense. Don't get me wrong. Jalen Brunson's a phenomenal player, proving a lot of people wrong. The Knicks are playing fine, and before the playoffs started, my matchup for the finals were the Timberwolves and the Knicks. But man, they got to do something. They got to do something.
Chill. You do know that it's not a sprint, right?
It is. It's definitely a marathon.
This is a marathon.
100%.
You do know it's hard to run a marathon at a sprinting pace, right?
Right. Correct.
You do know it's going to, and you be the main person talking about, well, can he hold up and this, and this, and I do know Josh Hart's a gladiator, but 48 minutes of NBA basketball, playoff basketball at that. On top of that, the refs have upped the level of physicality.
Yep. Just so we clear, Ron, Josh Hart, this is his game. That's number one. Number two, how's that been going for him so far?
It's been going amazing, but can it continue? That's what
I mean. You know, playing the Pacers every night.
You're not, which is actually good because if they could get rid of the Pacers as quickly as I think they can get some rest.
I mean, the Pacers were right there with them. Like offensively, the Knicks didn't really have much for the Pacers. Like they couldn't really keep them in front. They couldn't stop them from getting where they wanted to on the court. And like the Pacers didn't shoot like lights out from 3 to like a level where it's like, oh, this is unsustainable. The Knicks were a team that couldn't miss a 3. Like the Pacers could have won game one, like very not easily, but they could have won that game. They were right there. So
Mars, the difference was Hallie. And I gotta say this. Y'all say NBA players be watching. Hallie, if you tuned in right now, Dante DiVincenzo cannot guard you. He can't. He's a good defender. I like DiVincenzo. I like Josh Hart too. Those cats cannot guard you. Can they push you around a little bit? Yes. Are they stronger than you? Yes. The only thing that can take you out this game is yourself. Be aggressive, get downhill, make the plays that you've been making your whole career. If you allow those guys just to push you around and you go to the corner and act like you don't want to play ball, then you guys are gonna lose.
Are you giving a public service announcement to Tyrese Halliburton right now?
I'm
Tyrese Halliburton a pep talk right now?
You should have gave De'Aaron Fox a pep talk. This is the same pep talk you should have gave Sabonis. This is the same pep talk you should have gave to your light skinned boy over there in Sacramento. All right. Maybe if you would have did this, y'all would have been in the playoffs. All right.
Is this a pep talk that you're giving to Tyrese Halliburton right now through YouTube?
What I'm trying to say is they can't guard him. They can't.
Can I just add something to the pep talk for Reese? Can I just add something to the pep talk for Reese?
Go ahead, Damo.
Yo, Reese, don't listen to this nigga. Play your game. Just play ball. Keep running the offense. I get it. All right. Hey, everyone we were definitely hyping you up when you were putting up 25 and 13 with 0 turnovers. We may have overestimated your scoring capabilities. That does not matter right now because we're trying to play winning basketball. Let Pascal hit these middies. Let the others do their job. You're getting a great run from Miles Turner. Keep running the offense. Keep the pace pushing. Keep the effort on defense going. You took 6 shots, gang. I'm not worried about your scoring. I genuinely am not.
Damo, I'm not either, but it's even he's not even necessarily being aggressive on breaks, getting outlets, pushing the ball and stuff like that. It was certain decisions that he was making where it's just like, Hallie, like, I'm not even talking about scoring. The scoring part's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is be aggressive coming off those pick and rolls, get downhill. Notice I said get downhill and make plays. I didn't say get downhill and go score. Get downhill and do what you do best. Those guys can't really stay in front of you like that.
Maybe y'all two should piece your money up together and go buy that boy some heart because he was scared. All right, y'all up here giving him pep talks, giving him motivational speeches. Why don't y'all go put your bread together, go down? I heard they got a sale, 2 for $1. You know what I'm saying? Buy the kid some heart. You know what I'm saying? Because he was out there shook. He gave Nembhard the ball on this side of the court. He got the rebound. I thought he was the franchise point guard. I thought he was the lead guy. He gave him the ball, went and set a down pick, and then kicked it over here in the corner. While Nembhard had the ball, ran the offense, and got a contested jump shot at the top of the key. That's what you're doing because you don't want the ball? Ron, I'm disappointed in y'all two. Hold him accountable. Talking about, oh, man, play your game, my man. You got it. I
held him accountable.
I literally just sat there and said, I literally sat there and said, we may have overestimated your scoring capabilities.
Yeah, we may have overshot this one.
I don't know how much more accountable I can hold.
It's not just scoring. It's not just scoring.
I don't know if you watched the game. His defensive effort is not bad at all. Like his defensive, he's putting effort on defense. Yeah, he's not a liability on defense.
He got the ball. He got the lollygagging with the ball. He's not being aggressive. He's not doing anything with the basketball. Right. He's shook up. It's too physical for him. I don't know.
We'll see when we win game 2. When we win game 2, we'll see.
Facts.
Because I'm worried about winning. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't care about Reese's stat line. I care about him winning. If he wins, that's a win for me. That's all I care about.
I ain't bring up his stats. I ain't saying nothing about no stats, Damo. I said he's scared.
Hey, also too though, he didn't even want the ball to even run the offense. So you're telling me that since his defensive pressure increased from shit to just farts, that it's pretty good. Is that what you're telling me, Damo? That he's not here to play defense?
Yes.
What's going on?
He's still passing. He's playing defense. Hey, man.
Hey, also though, it's not from that game 1. From what I've seen, it's not just restart. Pascal, you played good, but I need you to be more aggressive, especially if Reese is going to be aggressive. Pascal, I need you.
I'm trying to kill OG.
It's only so many shots niggas can take. Nembhard had 18 off the bench. Miles Turner had like 21, did he not? There's only so many shots going around.
I mean, Pascal is the best offensive player.
Y'all gonna be losing
on the team. He genuinely picked this spot to pick the shots just fine.
I would like to see him force a little more.
The pace of the offense wasn't the problem. I would like to
see him be more aggressive.
It was a couple decisions at the end of the game. They definitely got hold by the refs a little bit. It was some bad circumstances. And a couple of defensive lapses at the end of the game. It was a very winnable basketball game.
Yeah, the pace of offense wasn't a problem.
Everyone trying to get their victory lap in on Reese for the Pacers losing a very winnable game is crazy to me because I don't think Reese played that bad to warrant this type of reaction. But hey, that's just me. Y'all can say that I'm being biased, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't the best game, but it damn sure wasn't a hamster class like y'all trying to make it seem. Y'all would.
You being biased. You know you being biased.
How am I being biased?
If this was Dame, you would be taking
If
it
it was
off, going
Bay Area,
around,
Bay Area,
jumping up and down, talking about Bay Area.
We know gonna highlight that's not true.
When Bay Area Kimba dropped 30, I was like, all right, I'm
accountable.
cool.
Hold the kid accountable.
What do you mean hold him accountable? He lost. I was like, what do you think, man? Hey, you gotta win. That's all I'm worried about. When he gets eliminated, we can have a conversation. He ain't eliminated yet. And I don't even feel like I was that hard on Dame for losing.
I've seen, when you feed a snake and you put the mice in there, the live mice. Yeah. I've seen mice walk around with their nuts drop bigger than that in a snake pit more than I've seen. That boy was scared, Damo.
Now, when he show out game 2, I want to see you have the opposite energy. I want to see you give him his kudos, give him his flowers.
I saw big love to Halliburton before during the season. I saw big love to Halliburton. But
that's
what
all
I
need to see.
Night,
we'll see, Mr. Ox.
That was despicable, Ryan.
Mr. Ox, we'll see.
I can't believe y'all acting like that wasn't no big deal. His self-awareness. I don't know where he at. I think he thought that in-season tournament was the playoffs, and that he could just do that and just play around. Because he dribbling the ball, he act like OG not standing right there. OG just taking the ball from him. He's out of it. They had him shook. They threw him off his pivot. It's true that he's not hard enough. Like I was telling you.
That's what I'm saying. Though. That is my part though. I'm like, yo, they didn't even do nothing special. It was just Dante DiVincenzo bumping you around a little bit and just in your grill. They didn't do nothing immaculate. They weren't double teaming them. It wasn't no scheme around it. It was literally just Dante DiVincenzo. That's why my thing is, I'm like, bro, just be aggressive. Dante DiVincenzo cannot guard you.
Man, chill. He had a 4-game stretch where he had 55 assists. And Ron jumping around. He's the best point guard in the NBA. He's better than John Stockton. I've heard he's better than Steve Nash.
I never said he was better than John Stockton. It sounds to me like you just want to hate on something today. You finally found your goal to hit. But that's okay. Wait, we'll come back in tomorrow. Maybe you'll have something else to hate on. Who knows?
I want Saul to respect basketball.
I really wish we would have been able to talk about this Rudy Gobert thing. That would have been nice because I want to give it up to Rudy. Unfortunately,
we talk about the MVP and DPOY tomorrow, man.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. I want to talk about these coaches for the last 5 minutes, if we can.
Yes, absolutely. I got a super chat from Drink More Water. He said, I don't know where you guys had Chris Finch ranked on your coaching rankings, but where is he now if he's moved at all? I was skeptical of Minnesota's offense, but they boast the best playoff offensive rating so far.
I'm shocked. The offense is what I did not believe in. The offense is offensive.
Would it be because Ant is actually hitting shots that he?
I mean, that's the large part of it. The pull-up shooting. I mean, Ant wasn't doing this in the regular season. So,
right.
Like, shout out to Ant for being able to do that. But I mean, Cat being Cat, like, who would have thought a really good offensive player? It's about damn time he's a really good offensive player in the postseason too. But defensively, man, Chris Finch, he not spoke, but he might be the next best thing in the league.
I like what he's doing. I do. I like what he's doing.
He's a defensive genius, low key.
I'm about to put this on the screen.
Yeah.
Let's see where we had Chris Finch ranked.
Oh my God.
Go ahead and adjust.
Not in the top
23? 23?
Wow. At the bottom of the league? Wow.
Wait. Hold on. I think we need to put some context here. This isn't his first year coaching, is it?
He's been there for this is his 3rd year. If I remember correctly, this was on a combined ranking. This was like
it wasn't.
Whoever put him 23.
Yes.
I was not here this day. I want y'all to remember.
I'm about to say, you gotta pull up the video. Who put him? It couldn't have been me.
If it was me, I'm about to leave the show.
I'm about to say it couldn't have been me.
All of y'all are guilty because you could have picked them before this.
Well, no, we started from the bottom. We started from the bottom.
Oh,
yeah, we started from 30 and went up.
Oh, yeah, that's wild.
Oh man, it couldn't have been me because I'd have had. Did I have the last pick? Because why is Darvin Ham 25? If I was, I ain't gonna lie to you. I probably was the first one to say Ham, so yeah, it couldn't have been me.
Damo, did Ham get a raw deal? Did Ham get a raw deal? Yes or no, Ham?
job a year too. He was there a year too long.
So he should have been going at the last year.
I've been telling you he should have been going up. I told you should have fired him before the trade deadline when we had Westbrook. I've been said fire him. Chilltown, you was the first person to nah, he's a first-year coach. Give him a chance. Give him a break. I've been said fire him before then. There was no chance.
You calling for his job, Damo? A black man? You calling for his job, Damo? That's crazy.
You damn right. And you know who I want to give it to? A white man. That's exactly what I want to do.
Oh, which one?
Who? We got to end the panel.
Who? Damo, who?
Oh, Budenholzer. I want Budenholzer as the head coach. I want Budenholzer as a head coach. JJ as the assistant coach. That's what I want. I don't want to give JJ the job.
Jackson on line 1.
He don't want to coach. He has a podcast. He does not want to coach.
Mark Jackson on line 1. You can pick up the telephone and call Mark.
Someone I heard people saying Ty Lue. Did Ty Lue even get fired yet? Like I don't even.
Not only is he not getting fired, he is. Those people over with the Clippers are not giving him to the Clippers. They're not giving him to the Lakers. Hell no, that's not happening.
I'm gonna say yeah. And anyone saying I'm bugging, who's the coach that y'all think we should hire?
Darvin Ham. You should never find.
Hey, is that application like available online? I'm about to apply for that job. I got to be a better coach than Darvin Ham.
I just want people. Like people are telling me I'm bugging for thinking out of all the available coaches. Hey man,
let's kill a Ty Lue logic. Ty Lue's
not happening.
He already has a job. He's the head coach of the Clippers. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
and you don't have anything to give up to get him, like you did with Doc Rivers from the Boston Celtics. No, you don't. So chill out. Let's chill out on Ty Lue.
Someone said they might as well have coach tryouts. I'll pull up.
Real.
I do want to say I can't wait to do our postseason evaluations and redo our lists like this, and then redo certain lists like our power rankings for the end of the season, and then do our top players in the playoffs and all of that good stuff. I can't wait to get into all of this stuff at the end of the season. The post rankings and stuff like that. That's gonna be fun. But until then, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same crew, better topics, better show. Y'all be easy in the meantime.
Later.
Mike, pull up to the Discord, Mike. Pull up to the Discord, Mike. I'm about to smoke you, Mike. Pull up to the Discord. I'm smoking you. Right. I'm smoking you, little boy.
Later, fellas.
Merry Christmas.
Mike, don't show up. Protect